Zhongxin Red Force. Al Hula Club Esports. Tianba.
Dali ka lang.
S2G Esports. Nigma Galaxy. Hula Esports. Team Flash. GodLike Esports. Aurora Gaming. Ida Esports. Orangutan. Team Vitality.
Eko ternakan by Vitality wale.
And finally, 4 Thrives Esports. We can't emphasize enough the importance of the next 3 days. On Sunday, we will crown the greatest team in the world. So start as you mean to go on.
Absolutely no room for mistake. If you want to be the best team in the world, you need to prove it from the very first day. The PMWC Finals at WC 2026. Starts right now!
Trophy.
Players from all corners of the world laser focused on one thing, the title of PMWC champion. Fight smarter, adapt faster, and deliver when the pressure is at its peak. That is what it takes to keep this dream alive.
So welcome to the PMWC at EWC 2026.
And RRQ are looking to do it here. Pushing up close and personal. Mew with the nade! Turning the tables! And he's doing this all by himself! It's the Swan Wife! 1v4!
Chinese team marna di finals bagi Malon.
Let's put the 11th on the board. Looking for TZ, is it a self-denial? It might be. Get to double digits on the elims and burn yourself down to the ground. What a shutdown. 108 points in 6 matches. Nade misses, Darkin peaks. That's on target. Good shot. Follow-up there. HG takes him away as TurneyK falls. Mormon closes the gap in the shotgun standoff, but will he win it? No!
Are you kidding me? What a finish! It's Ida! S-Power is just insane. He's been throwing heat-seeking missiles all game long and opening the fight for his team. A full 4v4. S2G tried to catch a couple of their players off guard, but it's S-Power, baby. You can't shut him down that easy.
You can't stop S-Power, and you cannot silence GodLike in this moment. Adamino for the closing play as GodLike take this chicken dinner with ease!
That is how you do it here, folks. And you can see the look on their faces saying, make some noise, Paris. It's GodLike time to shine.
3 kills on the tap
See on Rondo, it is madness in the Ox Factory. A big nade threaded on up, and it's finding 1 and 2. Falak charges on forwards, and they're cutting the rosters in half. Another one right up in his face. They go wide. Top's moving around the side. Aurora, a difficult beast to handle. The run coming through from India, but it's not happening. They will not be silenced. They will not be shut up here. Aru still going strong. A tanky underneath, looking to get the shots in. But Flash moves around the side. He's whipping the shots, unfortunately. But finally, they will hit the last shot. India grabs the back-to-back. From day one to day two, this team looks clean.
It's time to crush some dreams of 10 teams. Can I get you to press this button and open up the iris? Oh, with a bit of vigor. I like it. I'd like you to pull on this in 3, 2, 1. Send them home. Let's go. There we go.
I don't think we could have set the stage better ourselves. So it's ironic that we were featured in that nice little collection of replays there, Blank. An incredible way to give you a glimpse into what's gone on over the past couple days. But it's going to get even more climactic here. The best of the best return to the lobby, and this is where dreams truly do become reality.
I'm slouching, but hopefully the players aren't, because this is a day, right? Day one always gives you the most freedom, the most chance to get a big buffer online without that stress, because we saw that come through in survival stage.
Yeah,
teams were sweating, teams were shaking in their boots, but it's time to get boots on the ground over on Rondo very, very soon for our first match of the day. Who's going to grab that gargantuan point total? Can someone try and repeat something similar to E-Arena? Maybe not the same, because that's once in a lifetime type of a deal.
Well, if there was a time to pull it out, try and elevate a world record even further, hey man, there's no better stage for it, no better crowd, no more excitement and anticipation than right here, right now, live from the Qiddiya City grid at PMWC, at EWC 2026. 3 years of intense competition, twice we've had brand new champions crowned, and this year,
never going to be the same here at this rate. With Yangon being Yangon,
hello.
It is time to crown a new victor.
Who's
the defending champion? Will they be able to defend it next time? But right now, all that matters is getting those points online. Playing path is in the air for day one of finals. Match one, Rondo. Let's get it started.
Energy in the arena already. It's good to hear you, Paris. Let's keep that energy going throughout the day. We'll set the stage for you as we get our playing path on board for this one. We've had some pretty good games of Rondo, mate. You touched on E-Arena there. That was something to be remembered. But the consistency and the level of aggression we've seen from these teams back in their respective groups was intense. Now we put that all together. A big hodgepodge of talent. They're going to be stepping over each other, Blanked.
I mean, they will. They will have to, because there's going to be bodies on the ground shortly, as soon as these players start dropping in. E-Arena here, though, and teams do need to be worried. They've been taking this little odd stadium drop, and they've been searching out players from different teams on their res beacon positions. Now, if you are remembering our game versus Alpha 7 just the other day, on survival stage day 2, they had a real tough time of it. They were able to hold out, but E-Arena made their lives extremely difficult, but it wasn't just them. So let's see what E-Arena can get done, because a lot of teams are going to be taking those res beacons off towards the northwest side with this playing path as the fights do open up towards Yulin.
Just how hot are these drops going to be, and how much aggression is going to come out instantly. We see that opening knock from the side of 4 frags as Crazy on Vitality starts to let some bullets fly. 2 players on Orangutan instantly being knocked off their feet as well. That's 3 points achieved for Tiamba in a matter of seconds here, Blank.
QZZ already hitting the knocks left, right, and center. Up to 4, QZZ on 2. 6 eliminations in 1 minute 47. That is an incredible result already for Tiamba, and they should be able to get the easy res beacon. They've already cleared out most of the damn teams in that position.
Yeah, that's an unbelievable start for Tiamba. A powerhouse in the survival stage, and again delivering early into Rondo. Orangutan being forced out, as well as Hora look to try and claim a few more points for themselves. 3
Agree,
points for
Miller.
Laura, 3 in the back pocket for
Miller.
non-ship force, and that big 6 total for
GodLike
Tiambo
could have
already.
Oh my days. I mean, just coming through, Milu was just slashing at them. He pretty much cut through the entirety of 4 thrives there, left them in ribbons by the end of it.
एक Chinese team वाली नहीं
Pretty sure he was up
Tianba.
against guns as well, but he just brought the
Marla
knife
with
close
Gorni, no?
quarters
Okay.
outside the pagoda. Real samurai here on Rondo.
Start as you mean to proceed, it seems then for Tianba on today's games. Sleepy taking the clash back over to Zizzy there from non-ship. Going to be able to force him out early.
Nice.
Oh, that's a great lineup, bud. Lord coming swiftly in with that one onto S2G.
Gorgeous stuff here. But for S2G, got to chat with him for a little bit. My boy was actually getting ahead.
Near to the
Talking to him, but they were saying that they have the aggression, and that's what they're bringing here in the finals. It's what Ulf lacked a little bit of. But for their Turkish team, they were looking to bring that aggression over in the group stages. They're looking to bring it again here. They've had a lot of time to study those teams, but Lost moves up and already is down. It's Kamikaze, the man with it all to give. One nade, one dream.
And Nespan मारती है भाई.
Good damn.
Yeah, it's nice bit of chip damage on the peak.
you
Lord trying to lean into it, but the pre-fire back from Kamikaze on low HP will at least secure that one. Ralph goes in aggro though with the shotty and absolutely pumps them full of buckshot.
Good stuff that SoLo at least at distance is able to recall the team back into action. We do have a Western circle. We didn't get to talk about too much. Flash already has tops in that region, so GodLike currently covered, but that place can hold a lot of teams late game. Aaron now coming against Win, bears them out. HP, but at distance, it's Milu. Once again, Tiamba up to 8 probably after this.
This is the dream start for Tiamba. And Milu, the fact that he's got 6 individual eliminations alone, mate, he was just popping off back in the games we'd seen previously. If he feeds the hot hand and can keep this going throughout the whole day, good luck.
It's the buffer that we were talking about. And there's no luck involved, but there is luck involved over on the Lucky Spin, which you can join in with us in-game right now for the 2026 PMWC, for the exclusive 2026 PMWC tournament set, which you can see on screen regularly in-game. Make sure to try your chances, just like QZZ and this spray down with the S12K. We are looking at 2 eliminations per minute.
Unreal reactions as well. Coming out swinging today. We know mechanically they're very gifted as individuals, but they're putting it all on the line. And hey man, that's the way to do it, right? We were touching on the fact if you can have a huge pop-off game on Rondo, the extra buffer of points from the sheer quantity of additional eliminations you can garner from this battleground, it's worth its weight in gold, especially in a 3-day finals environment like this. You gotta get in there and get stuck into the thick of it, and Tiamba are doing just that.
Again, for Tiamba, their biggest success in the survival stage was the fact that they started out so incredibly hard, where it felt like all the weight was off them all the times. Milu making that 1v4 look real easy. I think that came from the fact that they had nothing to lose at that point. They were already in. They're just pushing a little bit further there. We haven't talked about it too much so far on the cast, but we do have Smash ruling this event. And not only does that mean that you can win technically game 2, but it also means the further you are ahead, the harder it is for teams to catch up to you to also get into that Smash ruling. So we are looking for more similar results to 4 Thrives as well as Vitality in terms of how far they sent themselves ahead in those rankings to make it difficult for any team to catch up to really engage that Smash ruling on the final day. Might be coming down to match 6.
Might be a
fun little storyline to see how that affects things going into the last day of competition. How big of a barrier that'll be, and really if other teams will have to rise up to the occasion for it to even be a potential pipeline for them. That's one for the future, though, but now it's in the back of your mind. You have that context with just how much these early points matter for some of our squads. Two sides that you touched on there, though, of course, being Vitality and 4 Thrives. They were dominant in both of their respective groups. Easily the best squads we saw when it came to how consistent they looked and how aggressive they were.
Yeah.
Vitality even kind of completely blowing away what we thought was the upper limit when they then played their group, right?
I think they knocked it out by 1 point, but even that 1 point is a hard point to squeeze out in such a short amount of games. For Tiamba, it's a little less impressive, I would say, just because you are playing with the dregs coming through from the group stage. We already did send what we assume to be our best 10 teams forward there. Yeah. Even so, Tiamba still looked very strong, and for them, it was more a case of switching it on in those moments. And they've done exactly that. It looks like all the lights are on at home right now for Tiamba. It's crazy. Actually wild. Speed at which he was like. So was that 1v4 again? Actually, now I'm thinking about it. Technically,
it feels like it is, especially when you then factor in, by the way, we had the one clean 1v4 he won. We then had a 1v4 attempt towards the end of survival stage that resulted in a winning free elite to going down as the last guy. Yeah, like the conversion rate we've had on raw 1v4s from him has actually been unbelievable.
I think we're more astonished that might be a 1v4. I mean, we didn't even clock it. Like, is he just doing this repeatedly now?
Just full-on butcher blade coming out from Melee.
Love to see it. Circle goes over towards that northern side.
And GodLike split
as well, down towards the lake. Definitely possible to go forward. You get caught out almost a few times here, Jackie, and also playing around that spot, trying to hold teams out. Orangutan, though, nice rotate on the north side, will be able to get them further into the circle. Tiamba, Vitality all on the back foot here, as well as Ulf. Aurora holding a 2-2 split. I think they realized because they're so far down towards the south, likely better just try and clear their back angles and then look for maybe a major rotate on the west or the east side later on.
Shades of Stadium for E Arena, a position they'd love to play towards in a final. Straight through the door, and it's easy cleanup on the opening 2 players. Aaron Wismar seconds. Back down to a duo once again.
Leaves Orangutan just on one singular player, AKOP, who is sending for a res beacon. I think he might go far Bailey on this, actually, Jackie. I don't think he's going to stop off early over towards the lake. Like we said before, you get a res off there. Teams know it's happening. They will hold you out. So he is forced to go for the long rotate.
Already.
But honestly, for Orangutan, it's not terrible because they can just swing back in from that northern side, and it's fairly free with where most of the teams dropped off down towards the south.
Yeah, thankfully he's got just enough time. Pulls slightly further out as well, hedges his bets as he goes up towards the top of the north side, going to get that recall in. See Vitality on screen here as well. Just the one elim to start us off with, Razy.
GodLike आ लिया है
You said it
सेंटर ला
yourself, mate, doing your little
GodLike
special
already सेंटर ला
report.
ली
Vitality, Razak and
मानना
Razy,
जीता होगा
that's
तो
been a hell of a duo. They're like the Cray twins, bro. You're just terrified when you see them coming at you.
Yeah, you are. I mean, one of them
अरे public कसली राडा करती
as well. It's a bit of a nightmare, honestly, and they are always looking for a proper shootout. But it's nice to see Axel as well as Federales. I mean, Axel really astonished me. Because there had been so much talk about Razy and Razak, and Federales has also had a massive amount of tenure throughout the entirety of PUBG Mobile, but Axel was just swinging and not missing. So that's what gives me a lot of hope, and I'm very, very excited to see this team perform. As this tournament goes on, just because of how good all of them have been playing individually and as a unit. Taking a look at GodLike, though. They're over towards that center side. I think GodLike showed us something different from their region. Honestly, they had some great aggression. I think they've been making little adaptations here and there, figuring things out as they go along. But genuinely, overall, we're impressive. We're impressive. They were second best inside of their group. Only beat out by Vitality. To be fair play. I mean, fair play.
Vitality really did get in there, mate. You got a little crunch down the zone
IQOO पे recall डाला है.
pulling further down. A couple big names amongst the dead center of it all. GodLike, as you touched
Two-man
on,
है वो जी, two-man.
Vitality,
One-man
Big
नहीं.
Galaxy as well. The representation from Aurora, another side that could have some surprises in store for us the longer this one goes on.
Yeah, Aurora, they just seem to have this capability to choke in the finals.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's their major issue. Every single player on that team has greatness inside of them. It just seems to dwindle a little bit once we get to a final. And we've been asking for that not to be the case for the longest time. And get to the point now where I just don't believe in it, which is sad. But they are consistently always here, and you can't really put them down too much for that. The fact they're in most of the finals is like, that's already a big achievement. Reefus though opening up over towards Yasser from Alula. Tiamba's cut out on that eastern edge. Now there's a lot of these big pillars involved inside the circle, as well as stadium over towards that northeast side, which is a bit open on the outer edges.
कुछ flow दे तो Aurora ने Vitality वाले.
Really kind of swing past here. They also know this area very well. It is their drop spot, but Fourth Rise have beaten them to the punch here down towards their southwest from stadium.
Excited to see what the form of Fury is going to be looking like in a final situation again as well. They were massively coming alive, dude. Felt like it was way better in terms of the decision making. The communication was on point. A lot of the fights we witnessed from them. IQOO as well, just playing so brilliantly with some of the individual plays. Feel like a whole new man showed up. We spoke about this big
अरे काय ड्रमच घेऊन आले तरी काय कसं वाजवत आहेत बाई ते काय चाललंय
line of sight potentially just playing close towards the geometry here at the cliff face. It's Ulf that aren't too far away.
Eagle and Aching desperate to get some elims on board. I mean, man, every single one over on Milu and QZZ, but these guys are the fraggers on side. Aching a lot of times playing off the back of him. Eagle very, very good at playing that anchor style. Generally is the last player to go down. Plays that survivalist very well for them as well. But yeah, you're right, Furia looking good. Igor's, I think, was a big surprise.
Yeah.
They've got big names on that team like Chief, Ayala, Silence also doing a lot of good work. But yeah, Igor's was just really giving it to a lot of these squads. Now we're getting in towards...
अरे घुसतात काय ये वाले 40 वर घुसले ते 24 वर अबे यार कंपाउंड लगे
earlier on. It can house a ton of teams. It is uncomfortable to play in, and swinging from apartment to apartment is not always easy, and there's a lot of different windows, little places to pitch nades in. We can't quite get those full finishes on. So I'm curious to see how this will play out. I think it's going to be a little bit of a passive, but you do have to get in towards Joutin.
And next chip on part
over on the side of the stage, the Galaxy fans getting quite excited. But meanwhile, amongst the battle crowd, it's S2G that feel the hammer crash down on top of them from Nonshin Red Force. The hero of
Human team finals मध्ये भारी खायला लागला आणि Tiamba Aurora
bail out and try and keep their dreams alive as he breezes out of action. There's Aurora as well, clashing against Ida Blank.
I mean, Ida tried to get in on the northeast side, which I think is, at this point, a little bit too late. They got crunched in by Vitality as well as Aurora. I think you somewhat deserve that coming into this stage of the game. Joutin's still far on the western side, but because it's such a big amount of landmass with a lot of places to play, you do see a lot of teams confirming here early. You sort of want to be on that end where Aurora is, Vitality, where there is those clear exit points across the road. A lot of other teams have to take something a little bit more unfortunate. Fourth Rise though, Joker stepping up to the plate here, spraying through the smoke. There's one close. He's giving himself away though, Jackie.
Yeah, this is risky road. IQOO had to be so swift with the shotgun here. It's Joker just teasing them, dancing around on top of the rocks. So much damage already done to Fourth Rise. This would be a hellish way to go down, and that's how they fall in our opening game. E-Arena.
With Tiamba, reverse as per usual. Scarface desperate against it, but he's just pushing up. Aching will find another shot. Solus is down. This is looking very, very bad for Ulf. And Tiamba puts up more points. Really on a fat 7 so far.
It's not going to stop.
Chinese domination.
They want even more. Squeeze whatever points they can get out of this one. Aaron had to tuck his tail and absolutely bolt it. Finds a lone rock in a field and gets his head down. Turns his attention back up onto him though. Few shots as he dumps the magazine towards Milu. Someone needs to stop him, Black.
Milu is just out of control this game. You're right, needs to be leashed. QZZ still taking some damage here. I'm kind of curious from where. One of his Fury, you're actually taking a couple of points. Not letting up. Just about press. They're going to take the blue for a little bit to try and deny those sightlines. They make their way over towards the pagoda. Just about in here, Jackie. Curious to see how it does work out. Aurora, it seems like both them and Vitality have been tossing a couple of curveballs at one another. But everyone does find Eagle. Goodness me, still being a nuisance on that east side.
Fair play, man.
This
for us on game one. We'll at least make it uncomfortable. Force out the utility, see what he can really make a move towards that recall.
GodLike back clear age पण आहे GodLike कडे पहिलीच मॅच मारली
from all of them. Still dead center for Vitality.
उजवाल्यानं तर फाईट घ्यायला लागणार जेवढे किल घेतील तेवढे बेटर आहे.
Like I said before, it does give them that capability to move out over towards that northeast side of Knees B, but they also can crunch every single team on that western side. There was one player left remaining from Ida. It is Darkin. He is over on the eastern side of Jiaotin, just hanging out for the time being, but that does kind of save grace for Vitality, because they'll hear the shots immediately if someone tries to rock over towards Darkin, just give them a brief opportunity to reassemble and reassess how they want to play off on that eastern side. Quick replay here from Federales, just instant shots. I think this has been a key factor for Federales throughout the entire tournament as well. Reaction speed. He is quick with it.
Hello.
It was quick and on a disgusting angle as well, so good plays. All Federales, no one clears it!
Hello?
They turned
around back onto it and Federales falls. What's gone on there?
This is an insane push from Tiamba, by the way. They practically mostly lived it. Only QZZ goes down. I don't know how Tiamba is here. They immediately scarpered from that south side, and they took the most bold push. I was like, goodness me, Vitality's going down. I was like, goodness me, Vitality's going down to Tiamba, of all teams.
Mate, this is lunacy. Milu's looking for the nade as well, wants to really commit to this. Meanwhile, the last man from Ulf goes down. They fall second into our first game. Milu priming the nades. Oh,
nice. Good nade from them. Hits it back. Axel and Razak still up and kicking. That nade looked dangerous. Milu's down, tries to crawl his way back in towards the smoke to mask his presence here. GZZ still alive. Last of a player up, probably the one you want to see as well here for Tiamba. 14 eliminations this game so far, though still decent. That is greedy. Vitality's gonna let it happen?
Oh, mate. He's gonna get it in. The res is gonna get him back up. The insane bit was as well, it was the nades from Aurora from all the way in the backline that got that initial knockback over onto Milu. Vitality have just been caught in the middle of it all. Most aggressive game of badminton with nades being bounced over the top of their heads. Molly in round the corner, QZZ with a nade back.
He's just going for it.
The shotgun knocks him.
This is what I can't believe about QZZ, because he's like, I've run out of grenades. You see so many players just step back and be like, that's it then. But he's like, if I can't do it with a nade, I'm just facing. I'm fully facing. Now Aurora, they're pushing on the side. 2 versus 4 here. It's a tough one. The opening grenade is not good, but Refus is taking a ton of damage. Top bullet fight, at least find QZZ. And it seems like Milu will also go down. But 16 eliminations, a fearsome game, even going out in 11th.
And I'm sure you can hear that. The entirety of the arena here in Paris lighting up.
GodLike कडे जुने बी पण हीच मॅच भारी जाऊ शकते.
And it's Tiamba that lead the charge. Now out of the running. Let's see if anyone else can try and mirror their success.
वरती जायला पाहिजे फक्त दोन. एक नंबर पहिला दोन आलाय.
Flash moving over towards Aura. It's on the south side. They're kind of fighting for nothing on this one as well, because they need to leave at some point in the near future.
Aura वरती काय पेल.
Jiggle. fair bit of damage. Flash still got bows in the back line here, lining up a grenade inside the warehouse. Hard to pop these off the wall though because of all the
and that's fight. अरे एकटे ते आयुष्य को दोन पाडले.
dealing with Nongshim Red Force.
आयुष पहिला रे.
Just lets him run straight into the barrel.
येतो आवाज. अरे वो नूटू केलं तरी ऍडमिन होनी.
Shotgun straight to the cranium. Blows him away. GodLike clap back upon from Schweppes in the distance.
Last right la raw.
Angle onto him.
आपला दोन होता भाई.
I mean, Nongshim down to just the duo. GodLike with only one man left remaining.
माझा आवाज येतो तुला?
They've seen the blood in the water. They want to see if they can roam over. They smell potential points here.
एक पाडायचं होतं ऍडमिनला एक.
Alula sends up Yasser. Nongshim
Red Force has not
got the reset online at all. Still priming nades upstairs. There's going to have to be a big hole. Tizzy on the outside.
PMWC mobile sport वर बघतोय.
Not on target. Tizzy's just going down. What are we doing?
हे पुढे I guess. Next पुढे रे stream वाटतं.
Tried to drop off the top of the rafters, spamming the shots. It's all gone.
I feel like Tizzy just panicked.
I think so.
Just get the res in, bro. Drop the smokes. Get the reses. They missed the first mob.
Challenge
the res. Goodness me, man. You're gonna go down.
चांगला मेला भाई. मान्या पण मेला. तुझं काय चालू आता?
These guys, they currently control the entirety of
मान्या मेला बाबा.
arena looking to put up another good point here. Aurora.
अरे बघ ना चांगल्या टीम बघ ना फायनल्स मध्ये TN Aurora NS तीन टॉप लाईन
अरे TN वायटॅलिटी भी चांगली घेतो. वायटॅलिटी लवकर मिळते.
एक पण फोडलाय.
Galaxy coming out swinging as well. Might have been a bit quiet in terms of the overall aggregate elims
अजून
we've
एक
seen
मारला
at this
अजून.
point, but we know it's a team that can deliver with some
एकच
consistency
राहिला
late
काय
game. They've got nades as
एकच
well.
राहिला.
Oh, the red zone forming on top of the
आपल्याला किल का नाही भेटत आहे? ओजीने किती नाव दिले
अरे
बघा.
के अरुणाला चल. अरुणाला झाला.
Turney K in the back trying to keep his eyes on what's going on, but if you flick to
Aurora
the
वाले
healing
बघ.
feed, you can see Doc's doing
14
damage.
मारले रे.
The scalpels come back out for Aurora. Blank, it was 16 for Tiamba, but Aurora now on 14 elims. They
14 मारला बाय बस. आपली पण मारायली बघतो. तेवढा एक घे की भाई तेवढा एक घे भावा. ही लांब पडली त्याला.
Actually didn't even grab that.
अरे FL ला मारला.
But for OG, they live a lot longer than
किल
expected.
टॉपला घेतला.
Eliminations, they will not get a
हा ना
huge
भाई.
amount off this
एक
game.
पण किल नाही भेटला या
Points
ओजीला.
involved. AKOP inside.
अरे 0 किल वर
Move
मिळतो.
soon. Might just end up the
तो पाहिलं ते एक point भेटेल.
spraying in.
2 point.
217
हा, दोन.
points as well. So they have had a lot of loot crates to pursue and peruse.
वन मॅनच राहिले रे. फ्युरी पण वन मॅन आहे.
Keep himself sustained.
पण झोन मध्ये घेऊन आला.
This one as long as possible. See if he can deny it out to the blue potentially. Because if he goes running in there, that's just another point for Aurora.
4 फर्स्टेड आहेत.
Just try and get an extra place
Don't
in
bet
on
now.
this one, but I don't think anyone else is going down anytime soon. Still more. He's mistimed it. Yeah, unfortunate. I think he thought that the angle was bad for him, so pulls off the first aid
Aurora
kit there,
chicken hai
sadly
vatta.
not able to rank up once again. If he'd waited a little bit longer, maybe
अरे हे पण 4 man आहेत
he would have
अलूला.
ranked up over E-Arena here, who will
हे
go down
नल्ला.
shortly, I imagine. Turney
Aurora
K
chicken काढतात.
not able.
हा ना.
यांचे फाईट होणार. उला वर्सेस
Who have been impressive this tournament for a team that
टोळा मारली रे भाई अरोरा.
यातले अजून 2-3 मिळतील का?
अरे 20 मारतील मला वाटतंय. अजून 4 मारतील. ही पण 4 मॅन आहेत बघ या दोन्ही टीम पण.
Bgmi Galaxy up in top 3. A rocky group stage for them, but we're still able to grab those points, and I do attribute some of that to Coops. He is a nuts player on side.
He's been a big King Cooper for this team, bro.
हेड नाही रे. फोडले असते भाई.
Crown with some of the plays he's making.
Yo,
He
yo,
wants to
yo, yo.
slam down the off-angle peak behind the vehicle here. Alila trapped, cowering one by one.
मारले न्याक की टीम.
And they fall. Huge step up for Bgmi Galaxy. And enough
4v1.
time to fix their HP as well.
फ्युरिया वाला राहिला एक जण.
नाही फ्युरियाचा पण फ्युरियाचा एक जण आहे.
Player from
तेच की.
Furia, he got just trapped in the ditch between our two
यो
teams.
अरे रिफर्सची पोझिशन बघ.
And Top finds that one for an extra elim.
गेली.
Just instantaneous.
अरे काय पोझिशनिंग आहे भावा.
So we're down to Aurora. Reaper swings very wide here over towards the northern edge.
अरे अबे पहिल्या मॅचला 21 किल चिकन विल केली यांचा. 31 पॉइंट आहे.
Very worried. Has a little bit of hard cover here, but it is outside.
यांनी काय गेम प्ले दाखवायचं नाही ठरवलं होतं काय सर्व स्टेजला आपल्या ह्याला.
अरे तिथे दरवेळीच आहे. मागच्या PM PMWC ला पण पहिलं टॉप क्वालिफायर्सला खेळली नव्हती आणि सर्वायवल मध्ये डायरेक्ट 3 चिकन मारून झालं.
फायनल आपली मारायला
टॉप ने 7 मारल्यात. आई शपथ.
MVP इज बॅक काय
युनिव्हर्सल MVP
प्रत्येक वर्षी येतो प्रत्येक वर्षी मारून जातो बाई त्याला कोण कॉम्पिटिशनच नाही की कन्सिस्टन्सी
अरे बाळ बीळ झालंय त्याला.
हा ना
2 पोरी आहेत त्याला. अरोरालाच आहे.
अरोरा भाई
It's greatly timed from shot.
दोनच नाही यांच्याकडे.
दोन नाही उलटा अरोराकडे बघ की.
Hitting hard.
He knows.
Enigma.
He knows, Jackie.
Look at the lineup. Wants to get it behind the cover
Oh,
flare.
fukla hota.
They bait him out enough. That's more chip damage. Coop's on half HP.
Molly.
Could be good.
Oh, this is annoying.
वाचलं
This is
Molly.
very frustrating for
परत
Coops.
इकडे आलं
He's
ते.
slowing down. Giving quite a bit of time for Aurora to
आता
reposition
डॉग
off
चाललाय
the
पुढे.
back of this as well because
दोन पाहिजे यांना.
पाठीमागे चाललं
have been distracted. This
काय दिलं रे? Net दिला, I guess.
in the chaos. Thought it might be a little harder for Aurora to get
अरे
back
एक
to
नॉक
the
झालता रे.
circle.
रेव झाला
They
परत.
also
रेव केला,
know
रेव
the
केला.
north side's free after that original rotate from Reefus.
निकमा गॅलेक्सी पण भारी टीम आहे पण
Ralph
मला
had
नाही
to go back up that angle.
हे चांगली टीम आहे चांगली टीम.
But they have all the knowledge in the world going forward here. They've opened up the full library on this game.
A lot of nades being baited out here.
पण
by
याने पुढं का
Coops.
चाललं मला
He's down
कळलं
to
नाही.
2
APG
nades
वाली.
and 1 Molotov. Ralph actually being isolated from his off-angle peek round the backside. That's half his HP.
Left ला
gone.
झाला
Vehicle
पाहिजे ना.
detonates in front of him.
रिफर्स माघारी का आला काय माहिती
A little
तिकडून
bit more
ती
cover to try
पोझिशनिंग
and
भारी
peek
होती
off
त्याची
of, but no easy rotation.
कारण राऊफकडे पूर्ण अँगल आहे यांचा बघ की.
4v4 here.
तो दुसरा पण गेला रॉककडे आता बोंबलला ना अवघड आहे आता
Most of these players
डीप पण मिळाली
just be a
चांगली.
dry gunfight, and honestly, on top
भारी
four,
पोझिशनिंग आहे उलटे
I do think
Reefus
Aurora
ची आहे
डॉकने जर
बरोबर.
मारले नाही इकडचे एक दोन
Coops
फुटतोय
and
डॉक
Lord, though, deadly duo. Prime at the 2 nades.
Dom
Doc is
Boncha
up
Barca,
front. Is
Don
this the
Neda.
docketing
Putnar
once again? Takes 2
Putnar.
nades. Just will tank
अजून
them.
दोन
But there's 2 more coming.
Let's see
I'm not
the
sure
Neda
what
check
he's
out.
gonna say on the next. They both go wide. He's going to push forward into the smoke. We'll have to sweep
अरे
back.
टॉप
One
नॉक
play
झाला.
goes down
अरे
the back
टॉपला
line.
वाचलं टॉप
And
नॉक
now
झाला.
Aurora's down to 2. Enigma Galaxy is making this happen.
नुसत्या सगळ्यांकडे ऑग आहेत बघ
They want to convert this
Oh,
one
leave
into a
it, Harry.
chicken dinner win on
खतरनाक
game
स्टेज.
1 as 2 of Aurora's players buckle under the pressure.
झालं सगळं.
Ruthless falls. It's
Pro
all
केलाय
down
बाई.
to the
Enigma
last
Galaxy.
man in Joel. They need to
हा
isolate
थ्रो नाही
the
मी
peak 'cause he hits
पूर्ण
forward
झोन घेतलाच नाही रे.
heavy, but
अरे ते दिवाळची पोझिशन कसली भारी होती जिथं हे जे रॉक आणि ते होते ना तिकडे होतं दिवाळ पहिल्यांदा
तो परत आला ना सिटी
रिफर्स सॉरी
I got to eat my words on that one as well. I mean, for Enigma Galaxy, what a good game. Did say that.
टायमिंगला खेळतात रे फायनल आले की खेळायला लागली बघ भारी टीम
the crazy thing is, it's probably the most fitting head-to-head of
खतरनाक
two
team
teams
आहे.
we could have.
Yeah.
सगळ्याच टीम खतरनाक आल्यात फायनल
The way they split off, confident their 2v2s, the off-angle aggression, but I started to get worried, man. Pointing to the map feed, seeing Doc charging in. Slight timing on the nades,
The
it all
docketing, dude.
collapses.
It's the docketing. It's happening
Enigma
again.
5, bro, just absolutely come alive on that one.
Yeah, wonderful stuff. Actually wonderful stuff. I still think Aurora played that game very, very well, though. I think when you watch them in those moments, they are so clean on the shots here and there. I think it's just a little bit of a stumble towards the end there where you're clashing through the side of this building. That is hard. That's the road. They don't have a huge amount of space to play with. Enigma Galaxy also has the high ground, so they set up well on this one. But yeah, good stuff from Enigma Galaxy. Again, Lord and Coops, though. That is a great duo. We're seeing a lot of fantastic duos be born here over at EWC.
एनबा वारी खेळली
Spread
अरोरा
their
वारी
wings into
खेळली
these
निकमा
matches.
गॅलेक्सीने तिकडूनच मारला
You can see him
40 पण
enjoying
आगली
it as
पहिली
well.
मॅच
Ralph enjoying the celebration from the fans.
अरे ह्यांनी
behind
किती
them
जणांनी
there.
प्रोटेक्ट
Everyone in
केली
the
40
arena
तर
popping off with Enigma Galaxy taking game 1. Stay tuned for even more.
पण ही गॉडलाइक वाली फाईट घ्यायला का नाही उतरली भाई रिकॉल असून रिकॉल तर यूज पण नाही केलं गॉडलाइकने रिकॉल यूज नाही केलं भावा
अबे सेटिंग्स कसं करायचं रे डिस्कॉर्ड मध्ये मला कसं स्ट्रीमचा आवाज पण लई आलाय स्ट्रीमचा आवाज लई आलाय आपल्यापेक्षा
तू कुठली स्ट्रीम बघतोयस
स्नॅक्सची
Welcome to the front of stage. My name's Barney Banks.
त्याच्या डिस्कॉर्ड मधून नाही ते डायरेक्ट YouTube वरनं कमी कर ना त्या स्ट्रीमचा थोडासा
I'm very well, thanks. I mean, let's talk a little bit before we get into
माझा
the
आवाज येतोय का
nitty-gritty of the teams and how things are going for you guys. Let's talk a bit about Paris. How's the Esports World Cup
डिस्कॉर्ड
been
मधनं
for you
कमी
so
कर नाही
far?
तर माझा आवाज
Paris is amazing, bro. Eiffel is so good. The castles are Notre Dame, the Pantheon, everything is
काय
good
वाटतंय
at the
तुला
Paris.
येतील का आपल्या टीमवर
But Arena is more than good. There is
पोडियम
I don't
फिनिश
know. It's my first time at the World Cup and it feels so good.
It's amazing.
दिली आहे बे
Let's talk a little bit about your team.
फिनिश केला दोन्ही
Let's
ह्याच्यात
talk about the preparations coming to EWC. Were you guys, you know, preparing here on site, or did you boot
Hello,
camp in
मी एक मिनिट
Turkey?
मला एक
What
सेटअप
was the
करू
plan?
दे
Just we did boot camp at the Istanbul. You know, we have gaming house at the Istanbul. And before tournament, we go to China, the PMI,
Wow.
Macau invitation tournament. And I don't know, I feel we're gonna take this.
You feel like we're going to get this? Well, S2G's run through the group stage was really good. Now we're in the finals. How are the team feeling? Are they nervous? Are they excited? Like, what's the vibe from the team right now?
They seeing me, my players are
तो काय
saying
लावून
me,
आलाय भाई खांद्यावर
maybe we're gonna get the first place, maybe we're gonna get the sixth place.
Oh,
They
wow.
don't know. Yeah, but I think we're gonna handle this.
It's a very strong group of finalists, isn't it? So if you get on a roll, like momentum is a big thing in this
हा
game.
ना
If
भाई
you
सगळ्याच
start
टीम
playing
भारी आहेत
well,
भाई
you can
जवळचे
take it all.
16
But do you have faith in them? Do you think they can do this?
Yeah, I believe them.
I believe too. Banish, thank you so much for joining me in this interview. I really appreciate it. Enjoy the event, and we'll see you later.
See you.
Back to you
Bye-bye.
guys.
Day number one in serious business here now for
दोन्ही player
PMWC
घेतलेत आपले.
PMWC 26. And what better way to start it off than I have two legends here from India to talk about what's happened so far as well as what may be to come. So of course I have Admino and I have Aru here as we have GodLike and of course Orangutan going to be representing from India. So I guess I'll ask you Admino first. You guys must have watched the survival stage. What did you think about the teams and gameplay overall from the survival stage?
It was kind of little passive, like the previous group were too much aggressive, or maybe they were one more chance, that's why they were aggressive, and this was a survival stage. But I think Tianba got the momentum, and the top 6 were expected, as we have decided
Pressure मध्ये
already
वाटतात काय?
in the podium thing that we have a fun activity over there.
Yeah.
And I think Alula gave a little bit surprise, and I hope so they perform good in grand final also. But I'm hoping for Tianba to carry forward the momentum that they have already got in survival stage.
अरे आपलं बघ भाई
How about you, Aru? What did you make of the survival stage?
We tried to grab as many things as we could from the playstyles and the lobby structure to get a better understanding and to be able to predict better what the structure of the finals lobby would look like. And obviously we don't really fear anyone, but yeah, there are many respectable opponents that we need to respect in game as well, as much as we should, not more, not less. So yeah, we are confident coming to the finals and looking at the survival stage. We know that when teams have like only one last chance, it's like they play more in pressure, and yeah, that's it.
All right, so I wanted to actually ask a bit of a fun question since we've got two fantastic teams here. I'll start with you, Aru. If you had to take a player from Admino's team and add them to your roster, who would you pick and why?
Maybe Espoir, because he's really consistent.
Okay. Same question to you, Admino. Who would you take from Aru's team and why?
Arwa himself, because he's a good idea.
What do you think about that? You think you're a good IGL? You think that's fair?
I don't know, I just work.
All right, so kind of final thoughts, final kind of look at the finals as a whole here. I'll start with you, Admino. Well, what's your expectations here for the final? Obviously, it's an amazing lineup of 16 teams, arguably one of the best lineups of all time here at PMWC. So how do you think your chances are here?
Well, I wouldn't be saying anything. I'll just prove it by performing
well. Perfect. How about you, Aru? What are you thinking for the final?
I'm just here to play and enjoy the 18 games because I love this game. I don't want to feel any pressure or, set unnecessary expectations from myself. If we are going to enjoy the game, inside the game, then we are definitely going to perform well as well.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me and best of luck today.
Thank you, Kalaris, for that amazing interview there with Admino and none other than Aru. But it does end up coming down to Aurora at the end. Even though Enigma Galaxy won, congratulations, Enigma Galaxy. I gotta give this team some props because we're finally seeing the MVPs show up for that squad. But Enigma Galaxy, Coops, especially at the end, what a surprise for them being able to come out with a win.
It's so nice. Just in my notes, I just have Coops because that's all you gotta say, really. I do. Can confirm. Yeah, see that? Yeah.
I can't read that.
Yeah, my handwriting's not great. But Coops was awesome. I really love the jump that they're coming through throughout that game, right? They played on that edge side. They waited for their moment. They bided their time. And what I loved particularly here, Max, was their push onto EA was not super aggressive. All they wanted was space inside the zone. They didn't go for that full push and that full clear of the team. They're just like, hey, we want some space. We're going to take it from you, take a couple of points as well, and then wait some more. I really liked that from them.
I have an idea, but this is just pure speculation. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I'm like, maybe they slowed down the fight into E-Arena, hoping Al-Ula would go for third party, and then they could let them fight each other and pick off the rest. I don't know if that was the actual reasoning, but it's how it worked out in the end, and because of that fight in particular, they get a 23-pointer tied with Aurora Gaming.
Lace, and we get just pure aggressiveness right off the bat. This feels like a PMWC finals, baby, as 3 teams were able to get 13 or more eliminations. Aurora with the 17. Tiamba started off hot as well.
Man, I did not like, I mean, you know, we came out of that survival. It's just not, I just love the fact, right, I'm just getting so excited, so passionate here, that the fact that they carried on the same momentum that they had. I mean, it was exceptional from them. Obviously took the hot drop seriously, which, you know, shout out, love a hot drop taken seriously, and were able to capitalize and obviously recover the team. And this is, it's just a crazy storyline from them, from bottom to the top. And I mean, I'm so excited to see what they can do next.
Yeah, for Tiamba, they're looking to carry that momentum that we saw out of them in survival. Something that you actually enjoyed watching that game is the plan B, the adjustments that Tiamba was able to do, Max.
Because they had a great hot drop, right? I think it was, what, 9 eliminations after the hot drop? Absolute mad start for these guys. And then they start losing players. They want to go for the recall, which is usually Tinglong Garden. But then Hora, coming out of nowhere, looking to chase down the recall player, which usually is Eagle in Tinglong Garden. And Eagle instantly, instant response, seeing we don't want to go out to Hora. We're going to go for an Eastern rotation, a bit out of their way. But by doing so, he gets the entire team back up, and they get 16 eliminations off the back of that. Eagle, definitely, maybe not in terms of elims, but the MVP of the game in terms of what he allowed his teammates to do this match.
Allowing the team to be able to come back, allowing the team to just be able to just be there for support. Allow the other players to just frag out. And for anybody that had Tiamba, Enigma Galaxy, or Aurora in your predictions, congratulations, because those teams have been performing quite well. If you haven't already, make sure you check out the EWC Play app. Go put in your predictions. You could end up getting some rewards there depending on what your predictions are. And no surprise here that it is Milu from Tiamba with the MVP once again. 8 eliminations. This man is just non-stop right now.
He is, you can't stop this man. He's just gonna go from better to better to better performance. Here we go, the head-to-head. You're seeing here 16 eliminations versus 17 of Aura. And if I'm not mistaken, Milu had at least 8 or 9 of those. So,
you know how you just had some notes and it was just Coops, it's just Milu. Man, this man's just chasing that MVP at this point.
He is. He absolutely is. QZZ, though, shout out to QZZ. That 1v2 onto the rest of Vitality. He was wiped out by Aura like seconds later, but yeah, it's some really, really good stuff there. There's a lot more players on the team than just Milu that are really fragging out.
I mean, I was wondering going to this, are we going to get group stage champion? Are we going to get survival stage champion? Clearly, with this opening performance 7, it is survival stage champion in the finals.
And we're hoping that that's going to be the case. If you're a Tiamba fan, you're going to be looking really happy. If you're a Fourth Rise fan, Fourth Rise, it's looking for a comeback here. Same with OG, but let's see what's going to be happening here on the second game of PMWC at EWC 26 Finals.
Thank you, Seven. Great breakdown there, recap of what we saw on our screens live in Game 1 of Rondo. Starting to get a little bit louder in here, but Paris, I want to know, how loud can you get? Let's get some noise going!
It's a good crowd. It's a real good crowd here we got here in Paris. Supporting all their teams. I mean, the Enigma Galaxy crowd, they've been loud. We'll see if they can get louder. As Enigma Galaxy are doing fairly well here so far. It's really, really nice to see. I think, again, mad props to Coops. First of all, mad props to actually being here. That guy's dodged so many events at this point. Finally gets to play some matches. But yeah, the rest of the team's also looking fantastic. Ralph looking a little bit more reserved, I would say, in the gameplay, which is good to see. Holding those angles. I actually liked where he set himself up. It became a real nuisance. The big thing was, didn't immediately go down either. And I think a lot of times that's all he needs to do, because he knows the layout of the land. He knows where he needs to be playing. It's just sometimes he'll play those spots and then and that's bang. So he's just letting the rest of his team work those angles whilst he plays that off angle in a really, really strong and quite frustrating spot to deal with. But we're heading over to our angle now, so probably a little less action involved, a little bit more calm, chilled out.
Coaching drop घेतील ना आता GodLike वाले.
Caution of the day. Fury at last game did come down to Eagle.
Idea तो पण full drop है.
And honestly, mate, you know, normally I think you'd favour him in kind of positions like that, where if he had to step up as a solo, it's just how late in the game it was and how strong everyone else he was up against was looking.
They'd
still squeeze some extra points out of it. So it's better than it could have been. For some of our other talented squads, they're far down the standings, but like you touched on, Rondo is Rondo, and now we get something a little bit more normal. Opening playing path established here, whole way down the middle.
Down on that eastern side, Yaz. Opening here for teams to move into. Gaka a little bit harder to get towards on that western side. North George.
OG तो काय drop है?
George, probably possible. It's just going to be a little bit more of a long approach on that one. Vital is just out early. I don't really ever mind the Kameshki split, honestly, over towards Stalber on that eastern side. You have a lot of position to lose.
But man, neither here. Gatka pushing
come over here, so it's just a really good position to get set up in the early game.
GodLike coaching क्यों उतरायचे ना पण अरे आपण उतरले वाटतं GodLike.
We didn't talk
about. ते सांगतो आपण तर coaching केला हे रे उल्फ आहे.
There is definitely fire in those
उल्फचा split बघ. गार्डनसाठी उतरले काय?
Make that decision to just be like, let's have a straight central compound when we're playing Edge. I don't know what's gotten into them, but I love it.
Hey, drop flash.
So many elims already.
आपलाच drop flash आहे. उल्फ उतरले आपल्या दोन्ही टीमच्या वर.
एकच जण
कोचिंग मध्ये पण दोन टीम गेले. निग्मा गॅलेक्सी आणि आयडी.
Starting off one of these. This has been a consistent trend at least throughout survival.
Soulless गाडी घेतला.
आपल्या टीमची फाईट नको व्हायला पाहिजे आधी सुरुवातीला अरे.
Late rotate all the way down from Stalber with their instant drop from the plane.
Yeah.
Yes, pistol में
a little bit more difficult. A lot of the rotational tools are probably removed as well, so it is going to be a long rotate for Vitality. That might end up, or probably will end up playing a little bit more of a passive game for them, slower game for them.
त्यांची 4v4 आहे कोचिंग मध्ये.
Nice and early on one of the prior compounds as we head into zone 2. I think the scary thing about this one is it does eke in a little bit of Sosnovka, and there isn't a 0% possibility that this doesn't go for Sosnovka in the future. It still can, it could even center up around bridge. Satan.
Idea last live बरं होईल.
You know what, the last game, first time I've seen Satan smile this tournament, by the way. Even when they win, he usually looks like something's gone wrong.
He enjoyed that one.
He did like that one. That was a nice win for him.
Yeah, they were chuffed to bits. And to be fair, it was great. You know, nice head-to-head. Two very talented squads. Lots of contrast of play styles, but Nigma Galaxy proving that it was on the money today in that first game. So low on utility, but made every bit count. Can they keep it going, though? You start well on Rondo. How does it look then moving in here to Arangao? Another chicken dinner, big placements. What would be nice? I suppose a litmus test. What the going to be looking like throughout the next 2 days here.
Ida. These guys kind of crumbled. They made the similar approach to Tiamba actually last game, but I think what Tiamba did very differently was they isolated the Vitality compound away from Aurora, whereas Ida kind of came from that north side and just sandwiched themselves. I thought that was a very strange play for Ida to make. I think most of the time, most teams would understand that probably don't want to place yourself between those two squads or those two buildings. They're very popular in that location on Rondo.
Third, fourth zone पर्यंत फाईटच नाही व्हायची मला तर वाटतं ह्यांची सोडून.
Badly before they had some really cool clutch moments, some super awesome 1v3s right at the end of the games. Like they have what it takes to be a champion, but not like that.
Are you कुठं आलाय? कहा घूम रहा है इस पावर? कुठं आला येऊन आला
touched on vitality going down kind of early into that one. Two other squads that I'm assuming towards the end of the day will be in a very different place to where they are in the standings right now, would be both 4-5s and GodLike. Two teams that have got so much firepower, even just individuals as well.
Yeah.
Falak gets some of that old 4 back out immediately, mate. You won't only see it, you'll hear it from the crowd.
I mean, he looked happy when I saw him this morning. Ready to go. He's got a little shy smile on him as well. Quite like
it's cheeky.
He is cheeky. It is cheeky.
येतो RTS power pushing की जगह squad of लाला है बहुत है
looked happy. IQOO is in high spirits, which is very
Recall
good for the team. Be able to give that advice and those crucial
आता स्ट्रीम वर वाइटॅलिटी दाखवतात ना
where the team wants to go, how they want to
आता
play it out.
3 22 3 21 20 19 18 17 T24 दाखवतात बोल्टीचा
GodLike and orangutan.
Okay.
Not because of gameplay we've seen so far, just because this is a finals at EWC. I think for them, it would be unwise not to say they're under pressure. I think if you're a fan of both these squads, and maybe today looks a little bit rough for them, I would caveat with that there is a tremendous amount weighing down on them right now, being in such a prestigious finals versus some really damn good squads. I'm hoping they could probably get back into the run of it, like by match 3.
दोन कुठं पडलाय दाखवतच नाही तरी दोन बाई
Tomorrow, I think that's fine as well. OG already still showing off that they have the rotation capability to make
पहिला दोन पडला असली ती
that late game. Not a lot of eliminations, that's fine. GodLike similarly, still that aggression in play. I like to see it, but maybe not where we really wanted it to happen during that game.
अरे ती पब्लिक काय करते भाई
अल्फा पब्लिक खतरनाक होती
कुणाला करतात सपोर्ट ती अयो फोडून मेलय ते म्हणलं
ही 40 आहे 40 ला करा
group in those top team spots, you get a few days off, but that does cool you down a little bit. And the thing that's changed is what's going on behind us. The energy in the arena,
अयो
the noise, the hype.
प्लेयर येतो इथं
They're getting excited because 4-5
किल पण दिलाय बिन काम आता
with an opening takedown. But that's the difference as well. You come back into this area, Blank. Sure, with the noise-cancelling headphones, they might not be hearing it, but I tell you what, they can feel it. The vibration. I know the floor is trembling under my feet. So the same down there on the stage for our players. And if you're trying to instantly snap back into that tournament-winning mindset after a few days off with all this going on, it might take a game to try and lock back in.
Yeah. I don't like that though, from Aurora. Because you can
आता ड्रम वाला बघ ना थांबा नाहीच भाऊ त्यो
the beachhead, having a look over towards Lighthouse and be like, okay, there's a guy up there waiting. Try and check the girders. I always think it's an odd maneuver to try and send someone slingshot them across, and it's like, well, we know there's someone across there though, but you also just lost a player. Like, it's so early into the game. Could have even just waited for zone 2. I'm curious to see what the analyst has to say about that, because for me that's just
झोन दाखवा रे झोन दाखवा भाई
PMWC potential.
यान बना हिरो हे घेतले की किल घेतले
पण झोनच नाही इकडे कशाला चालल्यात वर उतरली
economically it's not the best trade on it, especially if we see him get a good run out of this game. Goes down to an awkward fight, one player of difference. Blank.
Hell, I mean, even this circle right now, where it's down towards the eastern side, Fourth Wives knows that.
मिलिटरी बेस तर नाही कारण अरोरा तिकडून येत होती वरती म्हणजे मिलिटरी बेस तर नाही
Like if this circle is further over towards the northwest, maybe you don't go for that type of thing. But I think this one, you're Aurora, it shouldn't be a case of, oh, let's check if there's someone there. You should just know.
अरे होराला सपोर्ट करायली तेवढी 40 होरा अयो खाली नको जायला तो
वर
अयो
सेंटरला कोण आहे रे गॉडलाइक वाटतं सेंटरला सोमय आहे
40 बघ 40 ची पोझिशन
आणि तिथंच पडणार फेरीलाच पडते त्या ब्रिजच्या तिथं
हा ना गॉडलाइक गेल पण ओजी लय बाहेर आहे
This really could go back towards North Kuwait. I'm sort of expecting it to head towards the northwest, but for Aurora, they're stuck now. As are Alula. Alula's kind of considering whether we should take an eastern crossing or should we just play over towards the ridge side on the southern edge. It cuts out a massive amount of space though. So much water involved. So teams are just going to be sending towards Ferry Pier because there's safety in that location.
रोटेशन मध्ये लय फाइट होणार आहे पानी में नहीं माता रहा था.
Their way down from Stolber quite quickly, so you can see there amongst the rest of the pack, everyone else attempting to forge a path into the zone, knowing that play space will be very limited with a decent chunk of it cut out by the water. And the bridge dividing the team from each other. Only two squads on the island right now are Alula and Aurora. We've got E-Arena on screen now. This is the POV of Joker.
अरे टीएन बाबर आई पडते वाटतं. वाच भाई नको पडू बाबा नको पडू. तोडला त्याला. मुसला ऍक्शन वर AKOP. आई शपथ.
has been making a name for the DBS, right? You know, there's a lot of nerves.
का घुसला पण हा बिनकामाचा मागून. निघाला होता बिनकामाचा.
Despite that, though, A-King has been consistently winning these trades of it.
आणि डायरेक्ट सेंटर टाकतो यो.
Seems like the horror fans enjoying this one so far, getting quite.
तिघ जण आहेत रे तिथं. फिनिश पण केला. आयुष्य पदाईत फिरायला लागला तो. मागून पण पडती रे यारोला. अशा का गेलेत पण बाई डायरेक्ट.
Stepped up to the plate, but not worthy to sit around here with E-Arena, unfortunately. Some good shots at the start there, but started to crumble slightly. ToNiK came in like a demon, though, from the sidelines. I think WizGod was not expecting him to be so up close and personal. Aura played back here. They're over towards the pier itself. Four Thrives mirroring them over towards the eastern side. We are close towards our next circle now. Nigma Galaxy making me laugh at the moment, man. They're like, this circle looks horrendous. We're going to play in our drop spot for the rest of the game. Before we think about moving. And we're still on Sosnovka with this one. Four Thrives looking good. Down towards the southern edge here. Vitality trying to confirm over towards that compound that sits towards the field. I don't think it's a
अरे फोर्टीने चांगली पोझिशन सोडली बाई. FL च्या जागेवर होते फोर्टी वाले.
Not sure what S2G is doing. I think we've got boats. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it seems like at least one boat in play there. Dream scenario, maybe it's a hovercraft wrap back over to the teammates, then get involved with the action. Meanwhile, though, GodLike taking on Tiamba. Milu on his last leg, suffering a casualty there for the Tiamba squad. It's a decent start, but GodLike have received one knock onto their roster.
VIT पण रे थर्ड पार्टी करायला.
See the fight here from the top down. QZZ
वाचला मान्य.
into the ditch. Manya very low, but backpedals into safety with cover to play with.
First nade goes long here. X-Power holding down the keeping that drawbridge pulled up. Takes a fair bit of damage here, but he's refusing to move. Manya will reinforce the front gates. Actually, he goes for a swing by, try and get some information on that. So Eagle's going to move around, understanding the position has been compromised.
माघारी गेले भारी होल्ड केला.
Slowly trying to take some space back. Faint smoke wall goes up. Ooh, only gets worse for Aurora as well.
Aurora तर बीजच क्रॉस नाही झाला आज.
This was the other team that was on the island. There's now a third party that's joined there with that late rotation round from S2G. Looks like they did go back to grab the rest of the squad. Yeah, it was Kamikaze in the hovercraft. That's paid off for them. Ulf interestingly taking the hit over as well to GodLike. So that battle turns into a fight.
Top team मेला पाहिजे. Tiamba, Injix. Leaders नाही झाली पाहिजे.
They've got a good spot right now. It's not as safe as they might like it to be, but it is decently central. It feels like the circle's peeling away from Sosnovka at this point. They have very limited space to work with. Alula trying to make the cross. S2G at distance. We'll find a shot over towards Aurora there, leaving them at 0. Out of the game early. 23 points is where they'll end. On a single point earned on this one.
So So a great start on Rondo, but a bit of taste left in their mouths off the back.
Play close on the finals. As a domination कोण ना जिंकणार.
These guys have been playing the same game. I think it's the first time they've been inside the
शेवटच्या मॅच पर्यंत जात असते बघ.
How does their entry work actually?
Yeah, this is kind of unreal. At some point I thought
full fallenवर टाकायला लागेल. थर्ड पार्टी करायला लागेल. नाही कोण ना कोणतरी टाकलं.
I cannot believe this.
Luna also took another casualty from STG on a backside.
The Injects कुठं चालली?
Rushed over the bridge now into the mainland. Yeah, but that's only a trio blank. Damage onto Yasser as well.
Well, Enigma Galaxy might try and trade off. They're just in. They're just in. They're absolutely playing a different game at the moment. I mean, I'm glad finally there's some shots that go towards them now. This is such a wild play from Enigma Galaxy. Coop's taking a hell of a lot of damage. Slowly careening back in towards his team. And lock it down. They have lost one off the back of that. Vehicles are smoking, flaming. Flashes dash with Gal. I mean, that's 3 eliminations potential there for them, but they're worried about these sidelines to the side. Furia. Ooh. Go on. Give it some welly.
Pinnet and Jax wale.
Tiamba doing Tiamba things once again. Tony K low on HP on
the
side in the attic.
Third party. टाकता येते कुठेतरी. इथंच टाकतात आहे
with the distant shot.
टाकता येते इथंच.
Back onto Eagle. A-King gets a little bit high octane as he charges.
Teaser fight काढली ना आपण भारी मॅच झाला.
The stairs. Mormon's cooking one of his own to bounce down. GodLike getting involved with a fight. That's Manya. Just outside the window. Big pop a pump in his hands. So many teams crunching in.
Yeah, good Molotov here, but really good timing from GodLike as they move into this one, just leaving A-King alive here for Tiamba. Irina on the upstairs for the 4v2. Really good stuff. I mean, this is a good entry point coming through for GodLike, and they understand if they can get rid of 2 teams, they're going to be opening up a lot of space down here.
player राहिला 18 बता. Action.
Still at high HP count, but Manya finally does fall here to a nade from Mormon. Tiamba goes down.
Smoke on the stairs.
Action Tamela.
अरे दोघांना घेतला रे. तिसऱ्याला भी घेतला. हा मारला बा.
अरे पण तिघं खाल्ले भाऊ त्यांनी.
अरे ते वॉल्ट मध्ये मेला ना दुसरा.
अरे पण थोडी फाईट काढायची होती रे.
अरे वय चांगली मॅच केली असते
ना.
What a play from Mormon. The speed,
placement point तर काढून. हे तरी ऑरोरा मेली ना.
ऑरोरा मेली.
Now Vitality.
पुश आला सोड.
आता उगवून आला बाबा.
This place has been the graveyard of 5 separate teams so far. Vitality finally just come over towards the dregs. The funeral's almost over. Can Salme stay alive as the sole participant?
अरे 40 वाली मारणार का इकडे.
किती नीट करायली त्यांना माहितच नाही एकच जण राहिला. माहितच नसतं. पण खूप करनेट खूप पडला लांब नाही. अरे बाहेर नाही करू शकत नेट. खाली येऊन जर नेट केला ना त्यांनी बाहेर दरवाजात. अरे यार नेटवर होता रे तो.
Really good job from Razak. I think you have to make that play in that moment as well. You hear the pin pull coming down, trying to get the res off, you're trying to go for the revive, get some respite in that league.
Kill तर मारले 4 परत.
So Razak goes for the risky play to keep him from score, understanding they need that amount of players.
एक फाइट करून काय उपयोग ना.
The next couple of compounds, they got Aura in front of them and 4 thrives after that. Alula down towards the south side circle. Finally
Injects मिली पाहिजे भाई. लय लीड होईल ना.
On this one, Beachhead does well. Ida, as well as Ulf, now going at it. Play from Ulf downstairs.
He's not एक जण मेला असता एक्स्ट्रा ची
तिघं पाडले भाई
easy to recover from. Well, he should be.
Whoa, you run straight into that one. Catching as Ida try and clap back. It's good damage. but such an awkward setup
1v2.
between both of them. Casualties on either side. Scarface looking to go for the pickup play. Meanwhile, outside, Emre charging round with the SMG.
NS वाले मारतील मला वाटते चिकन.
Red Force, Tizzy takes that one.
Nongshim could push this
quickly.
Ulf is not looking too good right now. Neither is Vitality. Flipping into action. They lose a vehicle.
अरे इथं पण थर्ड पार्टीला आले त्यांचे अरे रीडले भारी करते रे.
That was a speedy rotate. I like that. You know, cut your losses. Moving through Aura as well as Fourth Rise is going to be hard. And eventually, you hear the engagement
vitality calling billing बघ ना त्यांची कसली भाई.
Cut between two strong teams in Nongshim as well as Vitality.
Quick decisions.
40.4 man as.
Of the vitality that we were so impressed by prior. Once again, back on our screens, it's only the one elim they've been able to garner so far.
He South Korean player lay bari
perspective so much more.
ना ये हिल भी नहीं वेगळंच आहे.
South Korea's team आहे ना ती NS.
Getting a little bit more heat himself, the Naruto skin in-game, as well as the Ninetales Fury Org. Both looking very cool here.
हिल मुळेच वर आली नाहीतर आधी येत नव्हती. आधी DRX आणि DK ची होती.
Substitution jutsu here to try and get out of this one because it is going to be hard.
मारला बरं झालं.
काढणार आहेत फाइट. घेतला किल पण घेतला
इंडस पण मारला रे.
हा ना फिनिश पण घेतला लगेच त्याने.
Quick switch round the side.
Federalist.
Denying some of the sight lines. Ulf does go down. Vitality though, they've been hugging the wall so far. Not allowing a single moment for Nongshim Red Force to try and challenge that spot.
What are
you doing? Testing the waters.
Injection fight चालू आहे तिकडे.
Inject spin आहेत बाबा एकाच ठिकाणी तिघ जण आहेत त्यांचे.
Although maybe he wants to go for it from a slightly different approach. Runs back out. Meanwhile, attention turns onto Federales, and that is another knock going the way of Nongshim. Oh, yeah,
good shots.
He's got so
दुसरा पण पडला. फिनिश झाला भाऊ.
ते फिनिश कसं झालं बघितलंस काय?
ना ना नेट केला ऑलरेडी.
नेट टप्पा पडला ऑलरेडी.
Luckily they will save Federales, but he's got a top himself.
त्यांचे फाइट घ्यायला लागणार आहे ह्यांना. दोन समोरचे करत दोघांनी. फाइट घेऊन दोन आहे दोघांचा.
Now tries to get up towards the wall. Very different angle to deal with.
वाचला रे.
Nongshim was quick to it. Hyunbin pushing up right now.
डॅमेज पण नाही पडला भाऊ.
It's a little bit close for comfort here. I think they know they want to get rid of this guy sooner rather than later, but he has pulled these kind of
vitality काढते.
Getting a little too aggressive.
कारण FL मारा.
FL पण आली आहे रे वरून.
So easy goes down the back line. Flash starts to move on through.
Tizzy tries his might. Rapid shots coming out, but not enough to finish Vitality. The end of Nongshim Red Force. But it does leave Vitality slightly weakened. And Flash, they are next in line to try and keep them pinned here. Knowing
पण असे मॅच दोन टोकणार आहे. चांगले मॅच केले पाहिजे.
मोमेंटम यायला पाहिजे.
Ushering Vitality forward.
44 man आहे मॅच. 40 वाले काढतील काय मॅच.
How will they make this work?
तुझे काय खेळले रे?
You were right. You were actually right. They had two hovercrafts in play.
दोन hovercraft
to keep both these alive all the way through to this end game is giving them a lot of pressure.
चढतच नाही पण त्यांना वर.
Loss isn't quite able to get it up though.
ना ना निवांत राईट साइडला जायला येते रे.
Hovercraft is stuck on the side. Yeah, just about. We'll take it.
40 चा नॉक होता.
Just letting it happen. Come on, bit more gas.
ना ना उलाचा होता. हां उला हां 14 नॉक.
14 ने केलता ना नॉक.
His teammates taking a fair bit of damage, but with that added armor of these big hovercrafts in play. If you say like this, man, if you can get them into the zone, there could be a lot you could do with it late game. I'm surprised the Lula have been able to guard this for so long, make it look uncomfortable. Nade after nade as well, just trying to soften them up.
Vitality do move over to the side.
Vitality ऊपर से क्या है कोड?
The shots are pouring in.
Dangerous team आहे भाई. डिसिजनच खतरनाक असतात.
But the blowtorch in play, I mean that's bold. On fire. Get out. Falak down. Aura, no fear. Drops them all up top side. Looks fairly decent on that one. Airburst are slightly too far.
अरे काय करायचं स्टेजवाल्यांना करायचंय काय नक्की? कुठं चढवली पाहिजे.
Okay, they should
ए
be
त्यांनी
able to
गेट इन
clean
गेट
up
आउट
from
करून
here.
मारायला ट्राय
As
करणार
long as there's not any more mistakes, it's damage done onto SoLo, but they do hold on. Shut down Alula.
Vitality मध्ये गेली.
Bit of a weird one.
It was a weird one. I'm glad you picked it up strong
Nice
though,
reaction.
because I mean it is an important fight. It's just interesting. Vitality go down in the meantime as Flash continues to push the advantage.
अरे ते NGX बाई ह्यात पण सर्वाइव्ह केली बाबा. किती वेळ झाला ती एकाच ठिकाणी बसलेत तिघ जण. मारा बाई त्यांना.
Now going out slowly but surely, just Ralph as well as Lord. Flash has been all over the place so far.
40 आणि S2 2 man 4 man फक्त आता. दोन टीम्स.
Fourth Rise have been weathering it though.
Fourth Rise कडे झोन नाही रे. NGX आणि FL कडे झोन.
But they've been doing a good job of playing off one another. Yesterday,
advantage आहे की त्यांच्याकडे
कंपाऊंड आहे की त्यांचं. दोन मध्ये आहे
in this area early, and they
अरे
understand
यू
better
पर्यंत
than
मारणार
anyone
ना घर
else.
FL
This is
वाले.
a game that they should be doing well on. I don't think I'd put as much pressure on and say this is a game they should win.
अरे होरावाली गेली त्या कंपाऊंडला.
But it should be at least a top 5, which I think, you know, we've already achieved. So this is a good game from Fourth Rise and shows that they still have it in them.
2v4 होरावाला आणता इथं.
And with them being able to have enough timing here to get IQOO back up once again, the 2-2 split from them could still pay dividends massively. It's been a very elongated firefight between them and Hora, effectively just mirroring each other's movement up along the ridge into the zone. A little bit more split here. No fear in the back, trying to protect some.
No fear ने तिकडून एखादा पाडला का नाही क्रॉस करताना हे राहिलेले दोन पोर्टेवाल्याचा.
Meanwhile, that's an engagement over onto
SPG NGX ला मारला.
बरं झालं.
बघ संपवला. संपवला.
0 पॉइंटर त्यांचा. 1 पॉइंट भेटला 1 पॉइंट.
Goodbye, Nigma Galaxy.
पोझिशन चेंज मिळाली तिथे.
Stealing points here, there, and everywhere.
Do we have to
हे 40 मारायला वाटतं. ग्रोजा स्लिपी कडे.
2v4 आहे रे यांचा.
Launch him out like a rocket
नाही,
to center
3v4.
circle.
नाही नो fear काय करू शकत नाही एवढ्या लांब.
This is the kamikaze. This is crazy stuff. The rest of S2G trying to regroup.
अरे
but
खुळे
it's
कोणाला मारायलीत बाबा खालची बघा भाऊ.
Kamikaze in play right now. The other hovercraft does go down.
ग्रोजा आहे भाऊ का ते कर.
Might need to regroup, pick it
कुठली ती?
back up again, but Kamikaze, he's going to hold that spot. He
बसणारच
spotted
की
the
ऑप्शन
flag.
नाही.
The S2G
हे मारला मारला.
एक पडला.
goes down, jiggle around the side.
कवर आहे कवर चांगला.
दोन पडले.
Top side but you can't weather the storm as Fourth Rise arrives and the brain of the operation.
नो fear पण आला. अरे यार एक घ्यायचा होता याला.
Falak there in the back line to assist, but no fear. Charging up.
नेट नाही काय
He's going to play on the edge, wants to run in now with the timing, see if he can shut them down. Falak
Nice, no
charging.
fear.
Last try ला.
Do it. No fear, holds on. Quick switch to the primary.
Kestel.
Gets
काढू
himself
शकतो भाई,
into
यो
an
काढू
off
शकतो.
angle. With one more
Kill करतो
move,
यो.
he can shut down IQOO, he can take out
Nice.
and that's how he does it.
एक नंबर बे.
Hora stands on.
Absolutely not frightened in the slightest as he moves down.
लिटरली नो fear भाई. कसला घुसलाय तो.
Fourth Rise will
Bucky.
win up against the world right now. DPS
हाँ
अरे यांचं काय चाललंय?
all of them, but S2G falling in the
S2G चं
meanwhile.
FL.
No fear.
1v1
There's
राहिलं
a
वाटतं.
possibility
नाही
of
1v2.
winning this if he wants to push out right now.
Get involved in the
अरे
action.
नो फिअर मध्ये येऊन भावा काढू शकते मॅच. किती का बसला हे जा की.
Right now he's going to top himself back up, play the slow game.
रेड केली काय नाही काय माहिती. दोन जण नॉक पडले तरी
अरे S2G दोघं राहिले.
किल उचलला एक किल.
A horrible spot, tries to get the heal in.
अरे झोपलाय भाऊ मार.
Kamikaze's got a single nade in the back pocket if he chooses to dash it. They've got clear vision.
रिजे अरे रिज होती.
This is it. Pulls the pin,
तरी
looking
मी
to
लास्ट
cook.
से
Let's see if
बसला.
he can land it.
वरती जातात गोळ्या त्याच्या.
Kamikaze looking for it
अरे
now.
गोरा
Bit
चिकन
of
काढू
splash
शकते.
damage.
रिवाइव होतोय काय मला.
Revive
रिवाइव कोणच नाही होते.
Kamikaze keeps spraying the right location with the bullets.
नाही रे होते
Covering the ground.
काय होतं रे. दुसऱ्या टीमचा प्लेयर आहे तो.
Solke in the back lines. What's left
अरे होरा बाहेर तर
here?
मारला तर 1v1
राईट वाला माहित नाही रे. हा कळला आता कळला नो फिअरला राईट वाला. 1v1 आहे बाबा.
ते सांगाले.
आई चिकट नो फिअरनी काढले ना खतरनाकच होईल भाई काहीतरी.
The outside contender in no fear. Solke looking at both angles.
आई स्नॅप पण नाही
बाहेर
रे.
नो फिअर.
गाडी घेऊन जाऊ शकतो थोडं पुढं.
The battle of the solos
अरे
to decide our second game.
Sorry.
Chicken dinner.
लेफ्ट वाला मारल ना.
No fear already picking up that big clutch. He's amped up.
गाडी
as an
घेऊन गेला असतं तर.
individual. Got a rough read on
अरे
where he
ते
believes
ridge वर दगडा
Solke
झाला
could be
बघ.
stationed, tucked in behind this burnt out hovercraft.
तो बघा नाही ओव्हरकॉट वाला त्या इकडेच बघतोय तो.
But he does not know
आता कळलं त्याला
where No
1v1.
Fear is. Hamzy G finally goes down. I think No Fear has a rough idea that he's playing on this hovercraft though. He has the information. Watching both of them.
राईटचा मारायचा राईटकडनं लई ओपन आहे रे
Unbelievable double clutch up.
राईट वाला बघणारच नाही ह्याच्याकडे लेफ्ट कडे बघतोय तो एफएल वाला बघतोय तो एसटूजी वाला
Zeus is just pushing forward. Instant spot though.
भारी मारलाय
With all to do here. Flash who had swept everyone aside. SoLo, the last to fall potentially here versus Team Flash.
ओरा कंसिस्टंट खेळती रे 7-8 पॉइंट काढतात असते प्रत्येक मॅच
Flash have guaranteed them a second place, but can he take it to first, or will SoLo get it done for S2G? A smoke wall, giving him limited play space. That tree, the only protection for the peak for Flash. He's going to make his move. Starts charging in, wants to close the distance. Here's the peak up, bullets on target. SoLo buckles under the pressure. That's the damage coming through.
एसटूजीने चांगला मॅच काढला 2 hovercraftचा प्रॉपर यूज केला
2 hovercraft प्रो गेम काढला खरंच
Kamikaze plays toward the center. It's an explosive finish right at the end.
आलो जरा मी चाहते
Steps up. A lot that's been in the esport for the longest of time. He's still got it in him. Feeding the crowd energy. A celebration in unison as they pop off on that one. S2G locking it down and everyone's living it up.
And it's all in the name because it is all gonna be okay at the end of the game for S2G. They had a lot of confidence coming into this one. They look good on the stage. They look good in the game. Is this the S2G comeback that we were looking for?
Aggression, confidence, some brilliant gun skill. Showing us a lot of the moves we needed to see on that one. A smart rotation from start to finish as well, playing by their own rules, Blank.
I think the thing for me is just, man, 2 matches so far, they have been both electric. I mean, this shot from Zeus.
Oh, the quick reactions, dude. That sent me.
His eyes must be going 2 different directions, man. He'd be seeing everything.
He was so locked in for an S2G fight. I don't even know how he clocked him, but instantly.
He said it, lightning flash reactions. That's what it is. I mean, so good from this team so far. I mean, they were involved in everything.
Yeah.
I think Horror, honestly for them, yeah, it's a tough fight versus 4th Rise, but you got to be happy with the way that No Fear clutched up there. That is an incredible finish of those guys. Yes, Horror had a good spot on the sidelines, but it's so many teams constantly pouring in, cycling out time and time again. I don't think that was an easy game whatsoever.
दोन्ही गेम खराब केलेत आपल्याला
And you can feel it looks a little bit different with this lobby compared to what we had in isolation in groups, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's so much more quick to the punch, a lot more early contact. And it feels like sometimes we were seeing maybe a bit too much respect for the big dogs. Now everyone's playing on the same level. It feels like we're all on an equal footing here. And they're giving it their best. It really has changed the dynamic. But let's get down and hear from Kalaris himself on the stage about what they have to say.
Thank you very much, Shaki. Yes, you can cut the tension with a knife here at the moment for our first 2 games. And I'm here with our winners from game 1, of course, Ralph from Nigma Galaxy to talk to about them. Some of the games that have happened so far. So let's talk about that first game in that late game against Aurora there. What was your anticipation as a team? Did you think Aurora had maybe moved a little bit earlier? Or talk to me about the late game and what you guys were experiencing.
I mean, we didn't really know. We didn't have much info. But we just played it slow. We took our fights that we need to take, and we just secured the win at the end.
I mean, it looks good at the end, right? Of course, getting that many points off of a Rondo. Not a bad start at all for a grand final like this. That second game, a bit harder, I think.
Yeah, second game was a bit harder. I mean, we have a team hot dropping us, but they're scared to fight. I don't know, they're camping. So we'll see next games what they do.
I was going to say, were you surprised by that? Because it was in the back. We were a little surprised that they were going to come your way. As we've talked about multiple times, it's your territory. So what are they doing?
They know we won't change, so they're just wasting their time. And they're coming to fight, but they don't want to fight. So I'm really confused right now.
All right, well, thank you very much for joining me here, Ralph. You heard it out there. He's got his eyes on you.
My name's Blank, and I've had 4 coffees, and I'm testing my reaction time right now.
I'm Hot Jukes. I just had a massage, and this is my reaction time.
Let's get it. I'm in the room. Yeah, some of my reaction score is pretty damn good. I actually don't think it has something to do with anything else or anything like that. But what about you, Jukes?
I don't care. Cut.
S2G in hovercrafts. That is like white on rice right now, because my goodness, what a performance out of that squad. Before we break down that second match here in finals, don't forget that we do have the fan experience that you can check out here at EWC. Make sure you go check it out. You can check out the new mode, Brain Rot Royale. Check out the collaboration right now the PUBG Mobile is doing with Naruto, and so much more. And you can win some really cool shirts, which actually we've been wearing them. Not right now. I think Jukes does have one on, but you'll be able to check out so much stuff. Yeah, check out that still Brain Rot. I mean, Brain Rot Royale. I've been playing it. I think I got to level 7. I've seen people being able to get to level 11. I gotta grind some more.
Wow, 7.7.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yes. Gotta keep it on brand, baby. Now that's it. I'm not gonna be playing it anymore. But S2G, Jukes.
Bro.
My goodness.
Oh, dude, that double hovercraft play right there at the end was absolutely insane. They were able to take out IQOO in a very nice way. And then just, I like to see that they kept one player there, right by the water, behind the hovercraft, just in case. And he was able to clutch it up at the end and get that chicken dinner. Finally, an S2G win, and nice and early.
Yeah, really, really nice. And the momentum they were able to pick up on after, getting those hovercrafts. Very quick side note here, while we're on this fight, 4 Thrives are looking, I hate to say it, very shaky. I don't know what happened, because group stage, they were looking really, really solid, just not able to get that win. Here, the splits are kind of off. They're pushing one by one. They're not really communicating, it feels like. So the last 2 games, I've not been super impressed with them. But hopefully that changes in the next game.
And for 4 Thrives, I felt like it took way too long to engage the fight there with Hora, just coexisting for too long, and No Fear came in clutch with that 1 versus 2.
He really did, and he continued to come in clutch for a lot of the game. Actually, he was a big part of the team this game.
Yeah, I just think he just made a big play. I mean, what can you do against that? When No Fear comes up and clutches it up, I mean, Aura fans are screaming these guys' names at the top of their lungs, and to be able to clutch it up like that is just huge. So yeah, unfortunate for 4 Thrives, huge for No Fear.
Another team that has been performing quite well today when we talk about eliminations has been none other than Nongshim Lace. This was the biggest feedback that we gave this squad during groups and also survival, and they're finally starting to put up those eliminations. As you can see, Nongshim Red Force right now with 9.
Yeah, absolutely, 7. I mean, they're finding important fights on their rotation to solidify that position, especially on that northern side. They were able to sort of catch Furia off guard, and now I do want to kind of segue into Furia and to why I need to highlight this. But one of our most aggressive playstyle teams is prioritizing the rotate on Rondo. We actually saw them grab utility, move into zone, and Max actually made a good point about this when NGX was sort of on the, I think it was the eastern side next to E Arena. Furia should have just pushed them into it, caused that fight. They would have had control over that whole entire side because they just sort of stopped the revive from Ulf. Then again, on this map, they found themselves in the position, and Nongshim from the northern side just obliterated their defense. This is just unusual for Furia. They are the power play team. They're the ones that get in a goddamn vehicle and shooting out the window and making that position them. It's just unusual.
They're right. They are supposed to be that aggressive team, and they're currently not showcasing that. In the opposite, like you just mentioned, and I was mentioning too, Nongshim is putting up those eliminations. But something happened at the end of that last game. With the hovercrafts and S2G, that was a little bit sketchy, Net.
It was a little bit, it was a bit touch and go here, but the momentum they've been able to build with these hovercrafts, they had 2 or 3 and they just went, let's go for it. And it's this replay that I want to talk about here, because look how they're going to play this. It's like my driving. First of all, Secondly, look how they take that first hovercraft and they deny the sightlines of Aula, right? They separate them one by one. They can no longer play as a duo. They try and get as many of those sightlines abolished as possible with those hovercrafts. And to be honest, S2G with those hovercrafts have been actually insane. It feels like because they take more damage to explode and they have it's just a tank, and so they are able to just run with it. They were making crazy rotations from the very beginning of the game. They had those positions on the rocks in the middle of the water, which are normally inaccessible, but having 2 hovercrafts, I wonder if other teams are going to start picking up on that, because that was an insane game from S2G.
I mean, we've seen it happen in the past too, and you just sounded like Max there for a second. I have to double check to make sure it was Michael Natura Jackson or if it was Maxman, but we're looking at the overall ranking here. Enigma Galaxy is currently in first place with those 26 points. Aurora, top. What happened at the top of that bridge? That man ended up falling down, and he actually ended up hurting Aurora with the rotation that they were looking to do into the main island.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate there. I mean, that's what it's all about. You know, you're trying to go to get into that end game and make those plays, and if you're Aurora, you know, 24 points on the board, you can't shake your head at. You know, and S2G being able to get that win, push themselves up to 3rd place. You know, I like what we were talking about there about Nongshim a little bit earlier, right?
They just look at the elements.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. 18 eliminations, and they would have gotten even more if it wasn't for those clutch plays from Vitality right there, because we saw absolute Hyunbin in action making some serious plays. But hey, again, super clutch moments here.
We have to talk about some of these other teams that are currently on the second page. I know it is the first day of PMWC at EWC 26 finals. It's only 2 games, but there is some things that we're starting to notice here, especially with 4 Thrives, the passionate that you were kind of talking about earlier, Neptura, as well as OG. OG needs to start being a little bit more aggressive and making sure that they look a bit more cohesive when you are being aggressive, because they were pushing one by one. It seems like a chicken without its head.
Yeah, it really did. And also they're losing players very, very early on. I think we've had that in both games now, where they're losing at least 1 or 2 of their players. GodLike have had a better opportunity to keep their players alive. They've been split up a little bit more. They've been using a little bit more of the zone, but it's just when they actually get down to the fight towards the end game, that's where they start to falter, and that's why we're not seeing those strategies convert into points. So that's what we need to see there.
And India, if I have learned anything about OG, it is they need their 3rd game. So don't count them out yet. I've learned my lesson. Don't you stress. Orangutan in their 3rd match, what they tend to do is actually prioritize
at least momentum तर भेटलं पाहिजे आपल्या टीमला.
what the rest of the teams are doing, making their game plan. Game 3, 4 is where they set their sights on fire.
Oh, I like that one. Now this is the group of death. This is the group of death, and this does feel like a finals right now with the way that some of these teams are playing. One man that I know is happy because he ended up picking that team that was in the top 3 here, none other than Team Flash. Maxman is looking to make sure he reverses curse. So let's send it over to Maxman in Calaris.
Well, we're not going to let him do any predictions here. That would be very, very serious indeed. But of course, we take a look at how things have gone down so far here in these 2 games. And we did have an interview just with Ralph, who's also a little bit confused about said hot drop.
I saw the hot drop that could happen on the map before this event. I'm like, they're not going to go for it because Enigma Galaxy has been dropping in Pachinki before I was even born. And yet, a team is trying to contest it away from them. And as he said, they're going for the hot drop, but they're not fighting and very confused, and they just see the loot truck pass by like, oh, my P90, no P90. Oh. So, Ida, I might want to change that because it's not helping you out.
I think it's going to be difficult for them to go up against that, but we will see if it continues. Ralph is also a little bit confused. Let's pivot kind of where we're at here as well. They've already alluded to it on the desk and how things have gone down so far for S2G, but just masterful control of the double hovercraft, some crazy plays, and the send out of Kamikaze to be able to make that work. For S2G, that was very, very impressive.
Yeah, it's just a domain expansion double hovercraft. I'm sure you get that reference right there,
yeah.
But no, great use of it, especially you saw there in the during a little bit of a replay analysis where they block out the line of sight of one of the players of Alula to really separate them and win the fight off the back of that. When you're near the water, when you have these open-ended finish, hovercraft are, I'm gonna have to say it, they're completely broken, and S2G made full use of it until the very end of that game.
A tough circle though, right? If you think about where Aurora was when it comes to the bridge as well, we're having kind of conversations in the back about this is a military island kind of heavy team, and yet the bridge seems like a conundrum to them that can't solve like a Rubik's Cube.
It was a bit weird, especially because Top was on top of the bridge itself. And I think the player Fourth Rive's got an angle onto him, so he goes down, kind of drops to his death at that point, right? And then the team tries to go and back up and hopefully get him back up on his 2 feet. But then Aurora were very sneaky, pushing right behind them on the bridge. I think Aurora, they're very experienced on that western bridge. We should be expecting more on the finish like this. So, you know what? First Durangle, it's fine. But the next Durangle, they need to show up.
All right, well, thank you very much, Max. It is time to head on over to the commentator team once again for game number 3 of the finals. Let's do it.
There we go, we'll pick up that throw. Thank you very much, James. There's a good arc on that one. Swift, great elbow on you. You can tell he used to be a drummer, but we'll be beating the drums of absolute anticipation and excitement here, Blank, as our 3rd game of the day is about to get underway.
Yeah, national gods as well as we get into this game, because it is going to be a lot to talk about going so far. I mean, even from watching the desk, to watching the stage hits, to watching the interviews, there's a lot to break down over the last match, and even just the 2 games we've had so far. There's been a lot going on. 4 tries on the first game, and having a little bit of a misstep, and then coming to the second one, looking a lot better. But so many good scenes. I'm very confident to say this is about as competitive as it gets in PUBG Mobile right now. I think we have the right teams here with us.
Towards
our halfway point. Shooting range to start off down towards Novo. Straight through the center, really easy one here, Jackie, very nice. I think most people can get exactly where they need to go. Aurora, last game, like you said before, looked a little bit weakened, right? I mean, even Max picked up on, he was saying that, hey, as the team's very experienced around this area of the map, should not be going down so early like this. It should be a game that you are a bit more in control of. And it wasn't the case here. Tiamba, they go out early.
15
a little bit further down towards the south side of the map on the west.
Comeback झाला पाहिजे या मॅच मध्ये.
Yeah, you'd hope they'd be able to bounce back from that one here. Obviously, it was a nice start of game 1, but that didn't really translate over. Has meant there was a little bit more fluctuation in the standings, and obviously for Tiamba as well. Far quieter, 16 eliminations on their opening.
कोडाला नो ज्वालन एवढं जवळ ड्रॉप आहे. दिसलं तरी मारायचं नाही.
Milu still living his movie though in terms of individual plays as he was popping off on Rondo. Was a big piece of the team. I wonder if we'll have something early here from Hora and Aurora. Where's that zone gonna go? We've had some wacky zones this LAN. It's been kind of crazy.
Yeah, most circles have just been very strange.
Central
so
circle padla pahiye.
We had a couple towards the end of the survival stage, which I think I was quite grateful for, that we're more normalized on Erangel at least. Enigma Galaxy versus Ida. No idea what's happening, by the way. Is actually very strange. I'll explain once it's done. I mean, Kalaris already went over it in the interview, but
काय angle काढून बसला होता भाई.
Ralph with the M249. There's some good shots.
Last man.
Actually, we're actually doing quite well here, but
does
feel bad, and it being Coops is even worse.
Killi gun त्याला.
Second on the side, Lord hits some shots with Abacan.
ही पाडला तेवढे HP वर भाऊनी.
Back and forth here, Swain last left to face. Give them large for that. It is absolutely insane that they continue to come here.
40?
For context, Nigma Galaxy has dropped in this location
ते येत आहे फाल्कन्सचा मागच्या इथं प्लेअर आहे ते पण PMWC मारल्यावर असं
आणि 40 कोण आली पण इथं
inside of Pachinki. Sadly for them, Fourth Rise feels like we can get some easy points off the back of this one. You guys just come off the fight.
40 बघितलं रे थर्ड पार्टी करायला
It's a great read from Fourth Rise. I actually love this.
हे यार बघायला मजा येणार आता नेक्स्ट मॅच पण परत आयडिया उतरती काही तर
Fourth Rise spotting Lord. So as much as there was a pop off of them defending their home turf on the hot drop, like you say, Fourth Rise
त्याला माहितच नाही रे त्यांना वाटलं झालं आता
and completely knock them out of the game, denying any more points on this.
I mean, to be honest, you do wonder. Fourth Rise boys, they see a big hubbub go over by the Nigma Galaxy camp, and
2v4 मारलं होतं तर टेबलवर चढून उड्या मारतील रे
we should fly over.
तर भावा ते उचल त्याच्या स्टेट त्याच्या सेटअपवर
पिकून दिल डायरेक्ट हेडफोन
Looking for some good damage, but
माहिती आहे का लोकेशन माहिती आहे भाई
to ring out. Fourth Rise might look to back away from this one, allowing Ralph as well as Satan to live another day. Circle did move up towards the northeast side. I don't know what Ida's doing, man. It's akin to throwing away all of your errand goals.
Yeah, it feels like one of those where it's kind of cutting your nose off to spite your face.
अरे ह्याला माहिती काय पोझिशन जर्सला मार करतोय
If it's not working, you got to adapt.
ए मगाशी ते शॅकला नेड केलता ना
त्याची पण पोझिशन माहिती होती त्यांना कसं
It's hard to be in finals.
पहिला बाहेरच्या लागतो म्हणलं
Don't ego challenge if you don't need to. But for Fourth
मध्ये आलंच नाही रे कोण
can they find those elims they wanted off the back of this counter play?
माघारी चालली गावलं ही यात मध्ये आलं
Let's see if he can go for the peak off this.
हे साठी येणार फर्स्ट एड साठी अय ना आला रे ना आला
जरा गेस केला
फर्स्ट एड साठी आला तर
up top.
मदाम ठेवली दीदी
Smells him out on this one.
फर्स्ट एड साठी मारणार आहे बाबा तो फर्स्ट एड साठी पीटी पडणार आहे
Inside the building, Satan underneath. Slightly slow on the timing there, and T24 tries to use the DBS. He's swinging around in circles. Satan's not sure where to look on this. The rest of Fourth Rise will come into hold.
finish
करायला. Ralph is nowhere nearby to help. Drops him down to 1. And it's an easy revive here on T24 inside the building. Church held.
Then get the revive back on T24. Ralph's just had to stay, man. It's where he's been for so long.
You'd be furious.
Yeah, you'd be fuming.
You win it twice. You win the hot drop twice back to back. It happens again. It costs you a game. And not even because of them.
Oh.
What's the thing? It's just
Here we
go. This is the full replay on it, so you get all the action. Oh, mate, it's carnage from the start. Obviously, we had Coops go down early, and like you say, they pop off to win it. We saw the celebrations. Ralph literally sending a message live in the event, live in the flesh. Said it with his chest. They deserve the
आपल्या दोन्ही टीम चांगल्या पोझिशनवर असतील झोन आपल्या साइडलाच आहे सेंट्रल झोन आहे
अपार्टमेंट हे वाला कंपाऊंड रिकॉलच्या समोरचं हे वाला घेतला सर
काय माहिती कुठं अरे हे बघ
ओव्हरऑल एपीजी मार
पकडू मारायला ते
ही फॉर्म मध्ये आलाय रे आरोर आता
ए स्कोर पडला फिनिश
अरे फिनिश 3-12 मारला
रोटेशन मध्ये सापडलाय काय
टॉप बघ
No fear getting ran down by Aurora as top will find
GodLike आहे वरतीच आहे समोरच आहे
पुढे
Fourth Rise did peace out, going slightly deeper into
अरे ये स्पॉन होतं पडायला पाहिजे
obviously wasting a decent amount of time on that as well for the elim they were able to garner.
Vitality down towards the southwest, started in Kameshki style, but this time we're seeing him over towards Gatka, but they grab themselves the loot truck, fiend as much as they can out from there.
MG3 घेत असतो.
Between the lake, Yasnaya on the south side, on school.
टीम आपली इथं ओपनला काय खेळायला? चांगली पोझिशन नाही.
पोझिशनिंग बघ की ऑरोराची पोझिशनिंग बघ ना 4 ठिकाणी 4 जण आहेत भाई फुटला टायर
Salme currently holding down the gas station. He can't come through here for repairs.
वरनी आला पाहिजे आपली आले आपली
भाई सापडले भाई दोघ जण अरे एमोस नाही याच्याकडे
18 left.
बॅकअप आला
पडू नको बाबा पडू नको याच्याकडे एमोस नाही का दोन एमोस आहे इकडे आदित्य भाई डिस्कॉर्ड आ जाओ भाई
Got to find himself some ammo to play with. Switch it out to the Tommy just to keep the pressure on them. Suppressive
fire. एमोस प्ले उडे
आता इकडे होताच दोन रिलोड होत्या फक्त इकडे
Cutting the grass, but not quite finding the shots over towards the players.
जीवालचा बस्ट किचन
Next circle, 10 seconds roughly on this one. Aurora still figuring out where they want to play.
निघाली
Big old.
ओजीची पोझिशनिंग बघ
Here out.
ब्रिज ते हे वाला कंपाऊंड घेतलाय काय अपार्टमेंटच्या लेफ्ट साइडला वरती असते
अयो north side. Obviously, Lake is a bit of an awkward one to play around. You're going to see a lot of people playing on the staging that goes up towards the big old mountainside. Never mind, it's horrible. It's not great. There's not a huge amount of fun spots to play in. You have to decide a rotation in now and quickly. Do you wrap on the north? Do you wrap on the south? Because you can't really change that.
हे ब्रिजच्या साइडचं घर हा हे घर यायला पाहिजे राईट
अरे इथं लय बसड होती परत
इथं जास्त
निघता येत नाहीत ना
इथं जास्त चान्सेस जास्त आहेत तिथे पडायच्या
गाड्या सेफ लावता येत नाही दोनच गाड्या ठेवू शकतो
इथनं निघाला अवघड आली
We have the Tianba POV on rotation.
GodLike कुठं राहता काय माहिती वरचं कंपाऊंड हिंच घेणार आहेत काय हे घेतील
Keeping it going.
ओजीने तर पेट्रोल पंपच घेतला
अयो
अरे मान्य आपण
अरे रोटेशन मध्ये का होईल अरे
अरे आरू ओपन
A lot of fights breaking out across the battleground. Individuals being knocked. Off some show-stopping rotation.
Nice one.
Nice.
Wiz got that one ready for him.
माघारी गेलं दुसरं माघारीच गेलं डायरेक्ट
Aaron comes in swinging.
अयो सौम्य पण पडला
सौम्य पण गेला
Scarface, but I don't even know. I think it's worth it anymore to go for this. Also deep on the south side of the map.
अरे ते मॅप मध्ये मार्क करत होतो वाटतं
Alula instantly takes up the cliffside.
हा
काहीतरी कॉल देतात
Decides they're going to go loot Saverni.
तरी म्हणजे ओजीचं पोझिशन तरी एवढी चांगली नाही
रे earlier on. Spent a little bit of ammo.
पोझिशनिंग ठीक आहे होल्ड केलं पाहिजे फक्त आता एक दोन तर नाही जात त्यावर
Get some resets on that before you get moving.
विषय कसा आहे त्या पोझिशन मध्ये जर या ब्रिजच्या साइडला पडला की नाही चान्सेस नाही निघायला
And it's Milu that's already showing that consistent form.
ऍडमिन राहिला ना फक्त GodLike
ऍडमिन राहिला
Nice start for the first 3 games.
India need IMX solo.
Now playing a little bit of a split on this one. They've got forward perched up.
Spray god
towards Aura. Very much slowing down now at the halfway portion, Jackie. Trying to maintain some of that lead because some teams have struck out in a big way. I mean, Enigma Galaxy absolutely 30 points right now. Aurora at 26. They were able to earn 3 after that last game. In the first, I think they were
going rotation
that one, so last game was a bit of a dud.
JX Enigma तर खराब गेम गेला ते चांगला आहे.
Sent us up over towards Tiamba as well as Aura, so those 2 compounds there are going to be a really big deal. Aura actually has the high ground on this one, the plateau that surrounds them. Very nice to be able to take shots out towards teams as they push on in.
ऍडमिन कुठं आहे?
Sadly,
Vitalityच्या मागे
gets pulled off. So you're going to have to move over towards that western
यो
side.
वरती पडला का
Yasa
होरा सेंटर आहे.
pulled away.
और सेंटर आहे तर
4 thrives though, Jackie. This is good.
पोल्टी वाली होरावर टाकत आहे.
Thrive's still looking pretty nice in some of the encounters we've seen individually. Another roster we know that could be very explosive. Let's see if they can bring the boom on this one straight up towards the setup from Alula.
Pad.
Quick on top. Got a pump action in the back pocket, ready for it if they can close the gap. Bit of overwatch from R3B on the
आजच्या दिवसातले 2 तरी मॅच जर चांगले गेल्या नाहीत ना लय प्रेशर येईल उद्या माहिती
Fast reactions onto the position of Falak, but the shots not connecting.
एक दिवस भी चांगला खेळला का नाही म्हणजे चान्सेस आहेत बाकीचे 2 डिसेंट खेळ तरी चालते
मोमेंटमच नाही भेटल्यावर काय कंटाळा बारी खेळणार उद्या परवा तर अजून प्रेशर मध्ये खेळतात
Good bounce on it actually.
एक दोन मॅच तरी चांगला गेल्या पाहिजे तसं काय
आजच्या दिवशी झाला पाहिजे एक मॅच
want to have any part of it. Tough circle though, man. Very, very tough circle. The majority of the center is taken up by that water. I actually do really like S2G's position. They're playing over towards those compounds that sit just a little bit east over towards the lake itself.
Oh,
sorry, the cliff face. You got flash down towards those compounds, but S2G currently playing on
that gunfight
rocky outcrop on the northern side, just holding out teams on the south here. Tiamba's actually even going to crunch in towards that little bank.
Fine margins between this going wrong for either of these two teams in 4 frags in Alula. So not wanting to
NS ले आवडती भाई तर ना बस खेळते काय काय South Korean
PMWC champion taking the peak over the top.
लय भारी South Korean teams लय भारी खेळतात
अरे ह्याला हे आहे ना स्मॅश रोल आहे ना
स्मॅश रोल आहे
मागच्या वेळी ना स्मॅश रोल वर जिंकले चौथा नंबर वर डायरेक्ट स्मॅश रोल वर जिंकले
Yeah, they know OG's in the area as well. See, Aaron struggled versus them earlier on his flying maneuver.
OG निघाली बाहेर पेट्रोल पंपावर ना
tried to go for the movie entrance, but we went straight to credits instead.
ही घाण पोझिशन आहे रे आरोराची
Yeah, all focused to hold them on the side. Next circle though.
खाली आला पाहिजे बेस पशी द्यायला पाहिजे
here over towards the west. I mean, Aurora currently have a really strong position on it.
खाली साला
We do head over there. But it's like a case of Aurora holding the central spot. They have a lot of 360 vision, but it's very open, Jackie. This is a very, very open area. A little bit of fun. There's quite a few radio towers and the square concrete that sit underneath them.
आता लय बसळ होणार आहे
You literally just lie down.
आता NS वाल्यांना आपल्या नॉक काढला क्रश करणार
You see Vitality already sending over. But this is quite
मला सांगितलं नाही व्हायटॅलिटीने जे कंपाऊंड काढले तिथेच पडणार जो
little bit of a
व्हायटॅलिटीने कंपाऊंड आहे बाबाले
माहिती आहे नंतर
That's the last man from
40 and S2G fight.
Trying to stay alive for as long as he can. But finally falls to S2G. S2G possibly being
eliminated झाली S2G चिकन मारलाय रे मागच्या मॅच
Yeah, good fight. Very good fight.
हो रानर मारला शेवटचा
आणि
हे फीचर पण चांगला आहे
कोणता
फीचर कसं असा आता ही यांचं जे सेटअप आहे की नाही कोच यांचे कॉल्स ऐकू शकते बाहेर बसून
हो बघितलं मी ते एक सेपरेट हेडफोन दिलाय ना
हा सांगू शकत नाही नुसतं ऐकू शकते
पण त्याला कळतंय ना कोण चुकीचे कॉल देतंय काय सगळं कळतंय बाबा
Sits them a little bit further ahead. Make up for that previous match there on Arundel. Not the greatest of pushes across the bridge to begin.
Hey, Adminola गावला काय
with Nigma and S2G going down early. Not really acclimating too many points on this one. It could be the dream recovery for Aurora if they can keep it up. Unfortunately for GodLike, Redmi Note unable to withstand the hit that is thrown towards him. Fury will get their mates back up and live on to fight on this one.
GodLikeला चान्स होता रे पेट्रोल पंपवर
काढला ना एक पुश करणार बाबा त्यांना झोन पाहिजे फाइट काढायला लागणार आपल्याला ओजीला
Actually trying to push on him. There's quite a few teams there. Longshim's just gonna
Tanky knock
barge over towards OG. Tanky's already down. Another nade towards the backside here. Hyunbin, as always, looking very, very strong. Hits the deck. Good dodge on that. Second nade's a bit stronger though. Aru now needs to get back into action. The rest of Nongshim
backside
behind as Flash still continues to create a little bit of a.
अरे दोन नॉक तरी उचला रे किल उचला ते फ्युरी वाले उचलतात किल आपले किल जातात आपले.
Still being able to
दोन जण झाले ना 2v2 आहे नाही 3v2
एक किल भेटला.
comfortable for nice shot actually, man. Yeah, that's a nice flick back up towards the wizard tower, and it keeps him pinned in position. So he
इथे जरी होल्ड केलं ना जर व्यवस्थित 5-6 पॉइंट तर आरामात काढ.
Bad spot now. I mean,
फ्युरीवाल्यांनी हेल्प केली आपल्याला माहिती का? त्यांचा पुश बॉलला.
Cool side swipe coming through from tops as well.
केदारचा किल घेतला पाहिजे फक्त.
Problems on the back line there for Nongshin Red Balls just weren't quite quick enough.
अरे ते सो इजी ना मारा ते.
हां ना भाई.
Deeper look into this one. He wants to get up
FL
close and
बना
personal, investigate. Potentially some more eliminations here left at the crime scene.
आपलाच नॉक आहे ना तो एनएस वाला.
होय होय.
He's still trying to get an angle on this.
ही होईल ब्लीड होईल. अरे फ्युरीचा होता. त्यांनी आपला वाला उचलला.
Fury over on the other side of the coast have been taking
किलीच
shots
मिळालं
over
नाही.
as well. So
नाही भेटला दोन मिळालेत की आपल्याला. एकच भेटला दोन नॉक केलते आपण.
That one position, this gas station for OG somehow being a very
XCY
formidable
तर काय झालं
defensive
याचा काही
area.
इशू आपला सोडे नसता.
त्या वुल्फच्या प्लेयर पाशी जायला लागला आता.
Calling it from zone 3 there.
स्कारफिश पाण्यात आहे शाने. ॲडव्हान्टेज आपल्याला कमी.
In a really good spot now. This is
definitely
redeemable city here for Aurora. We just need to not see
चालू झालं
them
पाण्यात जायचं.
go for something silly again. That is all.
अरे होराम चांगली जागा भेटते रे. वॉच टॉवर पुश करायला पाहिजे.
Just keep their cards close to their chest and be able to close this one out with some good play.
आता किती नीड करायलीत आपल्या एफएल वाली.
What we saw off the back of this game with the other squads above them. Falling out presented that opportunity, and like you say, if they can grab it,
गेला का देऊ मागत आपल्याला.
recovered from that. We can all forget about game
पाण्यात जाऊ शकतो आपण आता.
they'd actually be on that podium spot in first place.
पाण्यात जायचा विषय नाही रे. ते स्कारफिश बसलाय ना राईटला.
Future still a lot of other teams that could potentially
त्याच्यात पुश करायचं आपल्याला. हां गेला एक गेला.
This is their position right now.
14 ने ईएला मारली. अरोरा मारणार 14.
To decimate some damage out, and he does hit.
दोन ती मारायला 14 ला.
Good shot onto Falak. A little bit more they can do here.
I like that though. Good smoke. Over towards the rock side to kind of isolate this engagement between them and Fourth Rise.
Aurora ला मारा भाई. लय वाढल.
Makes a ton of sense to me as well. That vitality location is going to be a real problem for you. That's a long nade. Actually hits on target. Great damage, and they just keep on pumping in. Fourth Rise are out. But yeah, I mean, that's some massively long nades on that one.
Just chaining them together as well, one after another, another. They want to go in to grab the bits. Drop the smoke, try to stay
पण पाडला पाहिजे. एकटाच मारतोय भाई. एक जण का राहिलीत पण त्याच्यावर पण तिघ जण होते आपली.
I mean, Doc is holding on. He is holding on.
अरे पाण्यात जायचं मारला.
I've got that mentality where it's like, well, I'm sorry guys, I ran out that time. I will play anchor for the rest of the day, and I will keep you lads safe. It's a good
मला
shot
वाटलं ईएचा चिकन वाटायला.
1v3 मारला पाहिजे.
विस्गॉड बी मेला.
But it takes a gun away from that western side. But Aurora had to do that. They had to push over towards Fourth Rise. They knew that it's not likely in the near future they're going to be getting
फ्युरी आहे की नाही इथं गॉडल असतील जर तुम्ही फॉर्मॅट तिथे वाचले असतील पेट्रोल पंप वर खाली इथं झाले
हां बरोबर.
Tiambo looming off in the wings.
Had to restock and get themselves ready for one.
अरोराने चिकन नको मारायला फक्त.
नाही नाही ईएकडे चान्सेस असतात. ईएकडे सर्कल मोठा आहे.
ईए किंवा फ्युरीने मारला पाहिजे.
As well throughout the past couple minutes, keeping pressure on them. Playing a little bit safer here in their setup. Window peak with good eye line onto some of the other teams.
झोन आपल्यावर होता पूर्ण जरी आपण चोक केलं.
Ridge over towards the bridge side, going to be coming in from the back near Vitality and Flash.
ह्याला मारा कोणीतरी.
आला ती अरोरा बघ की मिलिटरी वरनं आपल्यावर आल्या. अजून जिवंत आहे.
Got to drop down to the deck and hope that he can hold on.
Kind of unsure how he's lived this long. I mean, Tops has got to know someone's move here, the pitter patter of the.
ही तीन केले आपल्यालाच मारलेलं आहे.
Bows at distance.
उजीला मारलेलं आहे.
Just going to go for the heel.
त्याला गेली फुट गेली त्याला.
He should know. It should be right on the edge of the blue here. Good air burst will do the trick.
FL पण consistent आहे रे. मागची मॅच टॉप 2.
अरे याला लजांनी प्रेडिक्शन केलं FL जिंकू शकतात मग डायरेक्ट.
Over towards Bows. Top though is the one to refrag over towards that Tiamba aching move.
अरोरा फॉर्म मध्ये आले असं वाटलं बा.
Gets behind that radio tower. This is a good spot.
ही फॉर्म मध्ये आल्या मग सोडून द्या मग.
Aurora on. But more importantly, hold
Nice
out on
nade,
the
eh?
southeast side. Good nades again. Goodness me, Aurora's having none of it.
Base on that one, more coming as well. Air burst over the top side, trying to arc it round the corner. Eagles crossing his fingers, hoping the smoke is enough to get the pick-up play back on A-King to stay alive.
I wonder if they're going to push this, Jackie.
I mean, with a molly, you could. You get the spread on it, just try to follow up off the back. You know they're weak.
To get the flush, at least, but not meant to be. That's a lot of nades invested there for basically nothing. Back one of his own. Now they're fully set up over here. On the radio tower. Molotovs, man, a bit more damage done. Chip damage from the nades should be good enough. So start to bombard now. They're splitting the difference on these ones. They know they have to go for one side, and it is over towards Dog. Survives the first blaster shrapnel and should survive the second.
So many and Doc, although the shrapnel hits him in the face, he takes that player down once again. 6 nades thrown out for no real follow-up from it. So it goes both ways for either of these two teams. Top with the instant adjustment back over onto E Arena. No, he's being collapsed upon from 2 sides between this team.
Shreps now. Get the res on of E Arena. E Arena, you know, actually haven't been too bad. I think for the points they currently have, it's 19, but they've been consistently up towards at least the top 8 every game. Vitality still taking more shots here. Tiamba is the one to take down tops. Tiamba's playing as a 4-man, and genuinely the way they weather the storm here versus Aurora, they have a to play inside the circle going forward. It's more about dealing with the couple of players inside that shack right there, and it's hard to line up those nades past the side. Angle of Doc to worry about. He is so critical to his other 2 teammates living.
ती कंपाउंड सोडलंच नाही त्याने मगाच
Scout play in a buggy, reading onto it. QZZ was knocked towards the backside. Thing is though, they've been here for so long and they've invested so many nades, so many bullets, and they're starting to run dry and can't actually push out to get themselves anything. Availability of crates becoming an all-time premium.
Aurora वाली किती वेळ झालं तिथं बसल्यात बाई 3-2 झाले असतील त्यांचा नॉक पण होणार नाही कुठनं कसली होल्डिंग करला केलाय बघा
आणि तिने शटलच दिलं नाही रे जवळपास कुणाला उलटी आली त्यांना मारला ईए आली त्याचा एकाला नॉक काढला ईए पाठीमागे गेली परत
QZZ finds shots over towards Vitality. They are trying to stop 2 teams from squeezing them together. But they will. It's a desperation play, but it's one that's very much needed for Tiamba right now as A-King moves in. Raise that Where's the rest of the team? QZZ moves in.
Oh, this is unbelievable. Mix the chaos as he stands strong to punish back. Vitality looked like it was all said and done, but they pop off on that clash in, knowing they needed to shut them down to get themselves any sort of ammunition, any kind of supplies to play on, and it does not work out.
कन्फ्युजनच मारला पाहिजे लीड वाढणार नाही की टीएन बावरनी मारला ना ती किती पॉइंटवर जातील बाबा 45
The arena now.
ये मारते आ रहा
the first to fall off the back of that. They have just played this game nice and slow from that northern side, trying not to get
Fury इकडे पण बांध करायला
saving up these nades for that end game moment.
डॉग भी नॉक झाला अरे पुश केलं त्याने
मेली cleans them out. This guy has been unbelievable with his 12k today.
ये वर्सेस फ्युरिया 4v4 पण फ्युरियाकडे जास्त हे आहे जागा जास्त
अरे कसले पसरले कसली पोझिशन केली आहे खतरनाक
लूट पण भरपूर आहे रे दिला नॉक भी दिला
coming back in with some of that firepower we had seen prior. Good damage onto E Arena.
King of Bgmi.
Tony K is knocked behind the hard cover. Joker looks to run over to see if he can save his
wait 3च मॅच झाल्यात
situation. 3 versus 4 right now. Schwartz warding off Ayala.
थ्रो करायलीस का ही फ्युरी
He wants more on the game.
नाही याचा पण एक नॉकच आहे
He goes down. Big player on the squad.
पण ते आता रिवाइव होतच नाही फ्युरी त्यावेळेला
As well as Chief to stand up tall. saved all their potential up for that late game, though. We saw how much ammo they still had, more, how many smokes they still had remaining. Basically played this one out for the chicken dinner. It's not worth it unless they get the chicken dinner on this one.
Swips.
5 nades still in the hand of Schweppes. Getting a second place is nice though, but yeah, it's this open ground, disgusting to work with. Furia is lining up for a big old bombardment from E-Arena in the near future though.
angle भारी काढला ये वाला ना sorry Furia वाला ना
He's gone down, man. He really has been this pop-off player for the team.
यांच्याकडे ड्रॉप द्या लागे रे Furia कडे.
Is that going to be enough of a deficit to really make this one uncomfortable?
Eagles is just providing all the information back all the time. Over towards the loot crate. The nade has to be invested.
मागचं पोझिशन सांगायले नॉक पडलेलं.
Don't use that on that. Yeah, good. I was thinking that he was going to send it over towards Igor's.
आखी पोझिशनिंग देत असेल ते नॉक पडलेलं.
He is just calling every single time they pull the pin on this one, when to move and when not to. Finally, the play zone takes him out, and Fury is blind again.
You lose your eyes in the back line and have to rely on your gun skill now. A standoff between these two teams with open space in front of them, waiting to be crunched forth. Silence with the big guns in the back line, ready to spray. A lot of nades invested, dashing them in towards the middle here.
I mean, they're mega blind. I mean, they can't have moved that far. Unless Igor's giving back the worst information in the world. But yeah, I mean, for Fury, I think there's a little bit of scaredness of that front line being aggressed upon.
टॉवरची पोझिशन भारी आहे रे. इतना भाई तो कव्हर घेऊन मग टाकू शकतो एकात तरी. बाकी सगळ्यांना ओपन लायचे.
Battleships right now.
कुठं मॉल करायला?
E5. You missed by a mile.
Oh! Just dashing him out. Gone wide, man. Start forest fire out in this field of Erangel right now. Be the best opportunity for them. That will actually hit.
Okay.
Assist.
I mean, I think we could just wait on these nades. There's plenty of time to wait on this one. The arena can play off the back.
मला वाटलं हे चीफ एक नॉक दिलं वाटलं मला.
आणि कुठं आला भाऊ ह्यो काय केला? अरे चढवायची तर डायरेक्ट.
Expected the first domino to fall, but that's Ayala going in and opening things up with an advantage for E-Arena.
This is PMWC
हे
here.
काय केलं हे?
Some
क्लासिक वाली मूव कुठं आली म्हणलं?
There's been an end game.
ही अरेना नशिबानं क्वालिफाय झाला नशिबानं.
Igor's confused everyone.
तू विषय बघितला ना ही अरेनाचा
सेम पॉइंट ना.
हां सेम पॉइंटचा पण विषय नाही. आधी ह्यांचा रूल काय होता, जर टीम मेली जर फिनिश झालेला त्याच्यानंतर जर ह्यानी मारायला प्लेअर जर फिनिश झाला तर त्यांचा पॉइंट मिळत नसते. पण ह्यावेळी ह्यांना मिळाला. ते एका पॉइंट मध्ये क्वालिफाय सेम झाले त्यांच्या आणि त्या ह्याची वुल्सची आणि ही क्वालिफाय झाली.
अच्छा
असं विषय झाला. म्हणजे एव्हरी टाइम कसं असायचं, जर टीम मेली की नाही तर किल पॉइंट मिळत नाहीत रे नंतरचे जे नंतर फिनिश झालेले. 1v2 अरे M3 भावा ती काढ.
ती 39 पॉइंटर मारलेलीच आहेत नाही.
हा पहिली मॅच मारलेली.
परत हागले टाकी टूर्नामेंट.
Good game for E-Arena. I think that the game plan was great. I think everyone confused one another right at the end. Igor's, as he went down, I think he might have thrown out some information that was maybe less than useful. Unfortunate stuff. To be fair, whilst he was still alive, they had a real good pinpoint on what E-Arena was doing. So I am joking. It's a joke, guys. I do think Igor's a great player. But yeah, still a weird end game.
Yeah, it was a lot of utility investment with not too much information. Kind of felt like it was, we don't want to push, so we're just going to lob everything.
Yeah.
And then have that respectful gunfight once we get in your
exactly. Because I do think that for E-Arena, they just wait a little bit longer. play up towards the tree line. With the amount of nades they had, they could have blanketed the entire thing. But even then, they were like,
किकवरती काय आहेच नाही रे कॉपीराइट बिकराइट्स काय विषय
was a little strange.
उन्हीं काय भी करते हैं लाइव.
I also did not expect that to be the first domino to fall, which was Tyler just getting mega impatient.
After all that waiting, it was kind of really like a curveball just came in. Swift gut punch, didn't expect that.
I know they're behind. I'm just going to go for it. All right. Confirmed, that's where they are. You're dead, Tyler. That's where they are, lads.
Yeah, I got the info.
Okay.
Got the info.
Info game. Sick of playing battleships. But yeah, overall, I think if we look a little bit prior into that game, I think Aurora, the way they set themselves up, not bad, but there was a couple moments where it got real hectic. I think a lot of teams made it far into that end game. Tiamba play out that radio tower really, really well. Even I think Tiamba's decision making does require bringing up a little bit. The fact that they decided to push over towards Vitality in that moment, the play almost works, but the speed at which they do it, like we're getting crunched right now, we have to just.
ना फ्युरी काढू शकत होती पण ती काय मूव केली भाऊ त्यांनी एकतर ती गाडी नव्हती सोडायची.
I really like that, and I think that that's the type of playstyle that's going to win you games.
बग्गीवाल्याने काम केली.
Loses them.
No, absolutely. I think, again, that was one where it was like Razak just kind of popped off on the hold.
Yes.
It was, honestly, it was better play from him than it was bad play from them. He just popped off on a solo mission where it's like, oh, fair play. You've actually kind of owned us there.
Yeah.
But what the play was meant to do was great. They needed ammo, they needed supplies, and they went for it. So
absolutely.
It was a head-on call.
It was the right thing to do. And the right thing for us to do right now is to go for a little moment with the boys over on the stage.
कुछ तो लोगों आना भाई करो कुछ तो करो भाई.
Powers here at PMWC 26, joined by John Allen, Kalaris, and Neptura, and we're playing a round of Hot Drop Dance.
Ooh, we're going to be getting stuck into the board, hopefully. Maybe not for some. Some are having a bit of trouble during practice, but we're going to be taking some shots at the board. The person with the least score is going to have to give their hot take, so let's jump into it. You guys, I think you two have to go first.
I think we get Nep up there first. Let's get Nep's in a prime position for this. I feel like I'm in the danger zone, but let's see.
Get ready to dodge.
Oh, it's your best one. Yeah, that's
it. मार लगा.
All right, let's shuffle up.
Thursday.
And Kalaris up to the bat. Oh, okay, all right.
Okay. This is good. This is good. There you go, James. There you go.
Shuffle in.
Thank you. Don't hit me, please. Oh, it's a 17. Currently, Nep's in last with 6.
No way. Oh, a double 17.
It's a triple 17.
It's a triple one, I don't know.
That means Neptura is last.
Are you serious?
Yep. What's your hot take, Neptura?
My hot take is that the Uzi is a bad weapon and shouldn't be played.
Wow.
There you go.
That's it. Wait.
This one was Neptura.
That one was mine.
In the bullseye.
No, it's in 25.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's you.
Well, she's already done a hot take now, so.
You did that on purpose.
No, I didn't do anything. All right, here. Go on.
John starting us off. Let's see. Oh, hey.
A 5.
It's in.
Bad.
That's all that matters, really.
It's on the board.
Here we go.
I haven't missed.
Kalaris now. Forearm strength. It's good. It's good.
Ooh. That could be a treble.
That's nice.
Get out of the danger zone. The splash zone's coming for you, Kale.
Good maths.
Oh, that's a triple.
Okay.
Triple 3.
God. All right, there you go, mate. Take this.
I'm pretty sure it's current the lowest. Wait, no, it's not.
I'm
John's
on a
the
5.
lowest. Yes, John's the lowest.
Or is that a 2? It's a 5, I think.
It's a 5.
Oh, and that's a 2.
That is a 2.
I've been saved by the upside down version of my own number.
It's your turn.
There you go.
Okay, hot take. Dino Park and Vikendi, infinitely better than Ronda. I miss it. Bring it back.
Oh, okay.
All right, considering I actually lost the first round, I should probably do a hot take because I cheated you out of it. I'm so sorry. Tiamba will not win PMWC despite looking really good.
I feel like I've got to follow in with a hot take as well.
Oh, okay.
I feel like over-reliance on ARs, nonsense. I want DMRs in, give the players a little bit more expression in the secondary slot, you know? Those submachine guns, something else popping in. Give a little bit more individuality. That's what I want to see.
I like it.
Don't give me this mic. You know what I want? I want all of your opinions from the viewers at home. You in the chat. Tell us what you think. Let us know right here, right now. What are your controversial takes?
searching for a little more. One squad, one dream, nothing's ever what it seems. The circle's closing in, can you feel it on your skin? Heartbeat like the drum, the final fight has come. Fight till you make it, never gonna break it. Stand your ground and take it, right into the fire. Fight till you make it, every move can change it. Higher and higher, we're reaching for the winner, winner, chicken dinner. Fight till you make it. Fight till you make it.
If I'm not mistaken, Niptura, I think you actually won at darts. And I think you got that chicken dinner.
I did.
You were lied to, but
very mad.
In this last game, E-Arena wasn't lied to, Max, because E-Arena came out with the win.
I never know how to react to an E-Arena win now since that Rondo 39-pointer. I'm like, okay, that's great. That's a cool win. But what's next? No, it genuinely was a good game. It was a very open-ended finish between Furia and E-Arena. I think it was kind of even-steven until eventually Ayala got a little bit overly aggressive on that push, and he gave the man advantage, and E-Arena using every resource they had available to get that win. Good to see, but again, I need to see that continue in your next coming matches.
Take it away, Lace. I know you've been wanting to talk about this team for a minute.
Hey, Ayala, I am revoking your driver's license because I was waiting for the Furia drive by Max. E-Arena, obviously, they deserved that win because of Furia and their driving and not taking that position early on. I mean, I liked the way that they sort of held out E-Arena early on in the map. Yeah. They had Silence kind of scouting Vitality's movements right down at the south side. So this was such a better play from them. They're actually defending and looking where other teams are sort of pushing into that position. They had such a strong split hold. Obviously, a little bit of tunnel vision coming out of some of the players there, and then I don't know what the vehicle situation was, and you could hear me screaming in the back, he's like catching nades with the vehicle as well, and I'm like, what plan is this? They had such a strong position after getting like
this one,
after moving their way into zone on the rotation on the southern side, Max.
Look,
I'll give you my pack next year. I'm really upset.
I know what happened, actually. I was talking tonight. I saw him as we were leaving the talent room, and I asked him, like, what was the play with Ayala? And he said the idea for Ayala was to get an off angle on the team and actually catch them from behind. But then he saw two players and he got scared. And that's the thing is, right, lack of information will make you do these kind of mistakes. So it could have been a good idea, and catching nades didn't work out. It could have been great, but unfortunately, two-player setup was exactly what E-Arena needed in case of those kind of pushes coming their way.
That was just a big, something I like to call what the Furia. WTF, because that's exactly what ended up happening with that one. I've been working on that one all day, especially with the way that they were playing earlier. There was a squad, though, that was able to put up a good amount of eliminations, and it was none other than Aurora. Aurora, once again, Neptura being able to back it up with Ilims, even though they wasted a lot of utility with Tiamba.
They did wait. It was a big old red zone, and it was fairly unnecessary. However, it does get you those points, right? And it's been really nice to see them actually, because I think in the group stage, right, we saw them just doing just enough to get into the top 5, just enough to get to where they wanted to be. Now we're seeing true Aurora here. Now we're seeing the team that we're used to seeing, and I'm really, really enjoying that. I think they've actually played a lot better, right? They're very even. They're not splitting. Doc's not doing his thing. He's staying with his team, and Rifus, and Zeal, we've seen some really cool off angles from them, so very happy with them.
And something that I enjoy seeing there, especially out of that graphic, Max, is Top being able to bounce back. Remember, earlier in the previous match before this one, Top was on top of the bridge. It didn't end up working out for him, but 4 Ilims out of him, a person that has been an MVP before on an international finals, that's exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, really happy. I mean, the best way to describe it is what you said, Niptra. They became a red zone at that moment in that game, and I love the way that any team would get in contention of their zone, they would start just nading them to hell and back. So Aurora playing it really well. I am still not sold on their performances so far. I feel like there's still a lack of fragging power that they used to have in the past. Doc is underperforming quite significantly. So Top, GG's, I'm loving it. Zeal too had some great moments, especially in that Rondo. But Doc, he's still sleeping right now. He needs to wake up.
Wake up, Doc. Wake up. Just make sure you don't start going away from your team, because that's when things ends up falling apart for Aurora. But Aurora, honestly, 36 points, currently tied. But the tiebreaker does go to E-Arena with that win.